Welcome everybody to today's stream. Hello. Hope you're doing fine. And what can I say? I mean, today is a very good day because yesterday in the evening of my time, we actually got announcement of ArenaNet that we now have finally, the first 3 names confirmed. So that's really nice. Welcome, Final One. Welcome. Yes, I stream because, of course, I would say people really want to get the drops, and I think it's a good time to stream because the hype is there, and I think it's just fun to talk about the new stuff coming up. And today's the last day of the drops, so use your chance to get it. And it's actually, I would say, okay rewards. It's not the best. We got back slot expansions previously. That was obviously really high tier, but now we got some nice outfits and even an emote, so I think that's good as well. And yeah, like I said, last day, we will do some giveaways later as well. And I'm just very hyped because we now have finally like the announcement of having 3 Elite Spec names confirmed, and we got the announcement that's for me actually even more important, that we get next week those three probably Elite Specs previewed on a live stream with the balanced devs. So that will be very exciting, probably quite fun to watch as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Nice, Dixie, welcome. Yeah, so what are the ones that we got confirmed? We got confirmed the Mesmer one, we got confirmed the Thief one, and we got confirmed the Elementalist one. Exactly, those 3. And yeah, I mean, the Minstrel, the Bard, it's not the name. It's actually not the name of the Mesmer spec. The spec of the Mesmer name is called Troubadour, however you pronounce that. And apparently it fits better than Minstrel or Bard. Someone on Reddit made a whole thread about it, and I think that's reasonable. So good for them. I think that's nice. And I would say it's also like not too surprising that it's now Mesmer because we already knew the image and it makes sense. We don't know the gameplay mechanic yet. I'm very looking forward to it. I hope it's kits or something like that you swap into, like the Firebrand tomes, so that it's a really distinct, cool new playstyle. I really hope so. If it would just be like 5 or 4 songs that you can play with 4 buttons, I think that's a little bit boring. I really hope it's kits, but maybe I'm a bit too optimistic there. We will see. Welcome, Rising Reap. Welcome. Yeah, good morning to you as well. Yeah, I'm just very hyped about the Mesmer one, I would say. That is like, if I had to put it on a scale between 1 and 5 or 0 and 5, I would definitely put it on a 5. I'm really hyped about it, and I hope my hype is like reasonable, because if it's not kits, I feel like it's a little bit boring. But if it gets the kits and you can instantly swap, for example, from the flute to the lute or whatever, and then maybe even another instrument, that would be amazing. And you could maybe get some crazy combos going and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. I really hope that this is the case. Then the last one, or the next one rather, is the Evoker. The Evoker is for Elementalist. That's the name. It is not Summoner, but it's very close to it in the name. And I think the Companion, yeah, just like Chili Puff puts it, the Companion Elementalist, I think I'm actually quite looking forward to it as well. I would say it's also on a 5 in terms of scale, how much I'm excited about it. Because the Evoker itself, I would say, is very interesting if they implement it well, and the pet is not like a mech pet that you have constantly and is just stupid sometimes in the behavior. I hope it's just something that you temporarily summon, does some really cool stuff, helps you out, is very powerful, but then leaves again. So that you actually have the, so to say, the control or the agency over the situation, and not always have like to control the pet and it's running off or it's not doing what you want. I think it's way more likely, hopefully, that it's just one or multiple time usage, of course, but not all time there. I think that would be really cool. I'm not sure if it will be fire only, because we currently only saw those fire jackal, fire foxy thing, or if there are 3 more depending on which attunement you are in. I don't know, we will see. I think it's quite likely that we get more than one, but maybe it just changes the color or something and it changes the attunement as well. We will see. Very interesting, of course. Minstrel is the Lotto class that can't fit harp. That can fit lute, harp, flute. Yeah, I exactly agree. I think that is like very interesting how much they can put in there. It's like they could put in a lot of instruments. They can say, no, we leave it at 2. We don't know. We will see that probably on Friday next week. That's when the live stream is, and I will of course cover it as well. And I'm very looking forward to that. But I don't have any like proof of how the gameplay will look like. but it will probably be interesting. And the last class is the Thief that we got. However, thanks Sushi, really appreciate it. Welcome Winslow, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think the last class that we got, I would say on a scale from 1 to 5, I'm not as excited as the other two. I think it is, I was having higher hopes for that one. The Thief one got the cards, yes, that one is correct. But it's not the Gambler or Trickster or whatever. It is Antiquary, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. But it is really some kind of Indiana Jones vibe, treasure hunter or something like that. And I'm not so sure if I'm really like, if this is my class fantasy that I want to have as a Thief player. Maybe I'm like, maybe the gameplay is amazing and I'm just like a little bit like too stupid to see that right now. But I personally am not as hyped with this one as for the others. I'm a little bit skeptical if that feels really good, if you have like a squid coming up and have some money to dig up or something. I have no clue. But it sounds a little bit like gimmicky to me. I'm not a big fan of that. It would be nice if the pet is out like a mech. It's not killable, but it's only acts in the time that you use skill as empowerment. Yeah, that is true. That if that would be the case, that it's some kind of untargetable thing that is like running around with you, some kind of spirit evoking thing, and that just does an attack when you say it should do the attack, then it's okay as well. But I don't want to have a pet like the mech that is running around, is like a targetable, destroyable thing that has to be controlled all the time. I think that's very annoying. I'm not a big fan of the Eye of Pets and Companions in Guild Wars 2. So I really think that would be amazing if they would put in something that is like not leaning too much into this like annoying part of Companions. Just giving us a companion that is fun to use, but not all of the annoying part as well. Welcome, Snowdrop. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think that is my analysis. I'm really hyped for the Evoker and the Troubadour, and I'm not so hyped for the Thief one. I think the Thief one, maybe I will be changing my opinion in the future if it looks amazing in the gameplay that they show us. But right now, I'm a little bit skeptical if it really like fits the class, if the gameplay is fun, if it's just interesting to play. We will see. I don't want to be like a doomer with this spec, but I think I'm really hyped up for 2 of them, and 1 of them I'm a little bit skeptical. We will see. We will see. Well, we only saw 1 possible skill for now. Let's see what the others are all about. Exactly. We don't know all the skills and we don't know the gameplay, so I will not judge until I know everything, probably even until I played all of them, because sometimes they look cool and they don't play that good because it's some kind of annoying things in there that you don't see if you don't play it. So I will judge when I have tested them all in the beta event probably, or maybe even after the launch. Maybe they made some big changes that could also happen. Maybe after launch, maybe I will judge them then. But for now, I'm most excited for Mesmer and Elementalist for sure. Yeah. I really hope that the Ranger is a full ranged spec with bow. I'm not so sure if it's like really bound to some kind of weapon, but in either case, I'm pretty excited that Ranger gets something that is like focused on range stuff, because a lot of people asked for that. But this is just my prediction. We don't know anything about it, to be honest. Yeah. I hate any sort of pet management games, so I hope my main ref doesn't get anything like that. Yeah, I think actually you're quite safe there, Winslow. My prediction is that ref will not get spirits or something, because to be honest, we already have Renegade and they have spirits. So why double up, make another spec that is just like a copy or something similar to Renegade? I'm actually predicting Revenant being some kind of support spec, or having the capabilities of having support, and not having any like summon things. But maybe they are, the whole expansion like is focused around companions and kids, so maybe Ref gets that as well, but I hope not, to be honest, and I'm with you there for sure. Welcome, Power, welcome, welcome. Is the new Elite spec tied to the new expansion? Yes, that is true. The new Elite specs will be tied to the new expansion. You have to purchase the new expansion, either when it launches and you see what it's actually all about, or you can already pre-order it using, for example, my referral link, and then you can already like guarantee that you get it, but it's obviously not like very important to actually get that. Just if you want to get the lead specs, get it whenever and you will have to buy it. Yeah, that's true. I was so hyped for card one, but then I saw it in the trailer. Yeah, I'm with you, Ricky. The card one I was actually quite hyped about, but I think it's now looking not as much like I would enjoy the fantasy of it. Doesn't mean it's bad, don't get me wrong. I don't know anything about the gameplay, but I'm not so sure if the fantasy is fitting to my idea of how I want to play this spec. But let's see. Thanks, Sangri, really appreciate it. I can send you the link, but I also have it posted. Give me a second. I will send you the link. But the information is like quite sparse. So give me a second. Here's the link. This is the link to the image that we got, or the announcement of them. But it's not any information other than what it's called and which elite specs they are assigned to, or classes they are assigned to. So it's not like crazy information on them, just a small image and teaser, so to say. We will get more information on the 3 elite specs next Friday. Not this Friday, not tomorrow. I think next week. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Romingsburg. Welcome. I still can't wait for Elipet reworks to make them like Necropets. That would be dope. I think, to be honest, the core Elementalists pets or summons, they are already quite weird. I'm totally agreeing with you that they need to rework that if they really want to focus on that. But my prediction is that the Evoker is not really like focusing too much on the core summons, but is more focusing on the new pet or whatever it will be. And therefore, I think the core summons are like there. You can use them. You can roleplay with them as some kind of even more evoking Evoker. But I don't see it being the core feature of this spec, because no elite spec had that before, that you had to use a specific core utility skill to make the elite spec work. I think that sounds weird. So maybe they rework it, but I doubt it, to be honest. My prediction, Warrior gets a proper support spec. Yeah, I think Paragon is like very likely to be a full support spec. Yeah, I think that's like completely missing in PvE. We have Berserker, but it's like not perfectly as a support because of the traits. So I think Paragon will get some really supportive traits, and you will probably see a support warrior in World vs. World and PvP as well, I would say. It's probably quite good after the release of the expansion. I can imagine that, yeah. I really don't get why people want full range for Ranger. You already have Longbow. Instance content will be stack heaven, so you get 0 new gameplay mechanics with that. Yeah, I agree. I think you will still try to stack, and the range stuff is not like necessary for Ranger. I'm totally with you, but I know that a lot of people in my YouTube comments, in the chat, in streams and stuff, and also on Reddit, they really asked for a range spec. I can't really explain why this is the case. I'm just saying this is what they probably will get. They will get some kind of, I don't know, buffs or super speed or whatever when they are a certain range from the target. I can see a lot of traits interacting with the range positioning and stuff. I'm not sure if any like instance contents fan will actually use the spec, because it's like I don't see those like being very useful, but I can see this being a spec that is quite useful in World vs. World and PvP, where you actually get buffs by standing on range and therefore getting some kind of value without being like the target all the time. I think there can be some reason there, but I agree in PvE, especially in instance content, doesn't seem like it would be a very like likely thing. But maybe it's not even about that. Maybe it's like you can play at range, but you don't need to. We will see. We will see. Really, so many ads. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, you can already use the warrior very well to heal, but I feel like in PvE, you actually have, so to say, the heal berserker, which is really fun. I like to play heal berserker a lot, but the problem is that the traits in berserker don't really support any healing. And I think Paragon is perfectly suited to be able to do that. So I think we will get some alacrity in the Paragon kit, and we will probably get some heavy support in there. So I don't know how it will look, but I think that is my most likely prediction there. Yeah, I think people want a range spec because things like Longbow is not really that great for damage. Yeah, exactly. Longbow is completely outclassed. I think it actually, to be honest, I think the Ranger spec should come with a rework to Longbow, so that Longbow is now useful in PvE as well. That would be amazing. That there is some kind of new cool combo. Maybe if you, I don't know, maybe if you use the 3 skill and hit it, or maybe if you hit multiple hits of the 5 skill, you get a reset of your 2 or something, some kind of combo that you can use it multiple times. That would be very interesting, and then the damage goes up, and it's actually a DPS power weapon that is useful even in melee. I think that would be very good. If together with the new spec, I think that could work then, yeah. Yeah, I think Mesmer has a very hard time to be like very good elite spec, because Chrono is already so broken, and Mirage and even Virtuoso. So will the Troubadour outclass them? I don't know. If it will, it's actually insane. It is even more power creep than I expected. but I personally don't like see it being absolutely broken. I think it's just another way of playing support. It's probably not necessarily better than Chrono. I don't see it, to be honest. Yeah, the YouTube comments, exactly. Yeah, I think, to be honest, Winslow, I'm with you. I think Spellbreaker should have been the support spec to begin with, because if that had alacrity in PvE, it would have been like a really, really good spec for supporting, but it is not, and therefore they will probably put Paragon with alacrity together and make a support spec out of it. That's my prediction. Yeah. Welcome, Filthy. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the names are interesting. I think Evoker is like quite common, but Troubadour and Antiquary is quite weird. And I'm not a biggest fan of Antiquary, I have to be honest, but maybe I will be proven wrong with the gameplay section coming up soon. Yeah. I'm very excited about the two classes, the Mesmer and the Elementalist one I'm actually quite excited about. The other one, we will see. But to be honest, they can simply rework either Berserker or Spellbreaker to make it more viable as a support. They could do that, but I think the Paragon is like, at least how they depicted it, I think that could easily be some kind of support. I'm not a lore guy and can tell you this is like the only story that we like should get, but personally I totally see that this will be like a decent way to do it. I think let's now jump into the game. Let's do some gaming. Let's do some gaming. Give me a second. There we go. Let's play some strike missions and later just do some relaxed content. Just some relaxed content. Big DPS. I mean, that sounds like a good group. Big DPS, that's what we want. Very good. Naming Elementalist Spec Evoker is lame, as they could have spared us WoW influence there. Yeah, I mean, I think Evoker is just a name that is like, it's suited to the spec what it wants to do. I know it has some kind of like prejudice of what people think about it, but I personally think it's actually okay. It's actually a good name, what it wants to be, hopefully. It wants to evoke stuff, so I can see why this is like a decent name for it, for sure. My guess was true, probably Troubadour. Have a way to provide boons without target. Yeah, I think that is probably quite likely. So that will be the thing that is different to Chronomancer. But I'm not sure if that's like the most important thing that they put out there. Maybe it's like still something else as well that is something unique that Mesmer doesn't have access to. But currently I have to be honest, I don't see how it is like better than Chronomancer as a support. So we will see. We will see. Yeah, I think shouting as a Paragon is quite likely, to be honest. I'm not sure if it will be the only mechanic that it has, but I think it's quite likely. It's quite likely. So, if they stay true to Guild Wars 1, Paragon will be the support class. Yeah, I think it's like very fitting, and I think a lot of people expect stuff that is like in the Guild Wars 1 in the old game. I think it's quite likely that they will try to cater to those people and not will completely rework what they actually think. So I think making Paragon as some kind of support is like quite likely, and they will not make it a full DPS spec and no one with no support in there. I think that would like alienate the players that played in Guild Wars 1. So I think it's way more likely that it will be support as well. I don't see it being like full DPS only. I really don't. Do you think also the new Rev Elite will be Condi focused? Oh, that's an interesting one. I think the new stance might be bleeding focused. I think that is like my prediction, that it is some kind of sanguine or something like that, vampire, and that's bleeding, healing focused. I can see that one, but I'm not sure if the traits or the general gameplay is necessarily Condi. I think they always try to make DPS builds power and Condi nowadays, and I see them doing the same for the Revenant Elite spec. So I think you are right, it will have a Condi part. I predict it will be Condi full bleeding, because that's a condition that Revenant only has access to on shortbow for the most part, and I really predict that this will be the case in the new Elite thing as well, in the new stance, or how is it called? Legend, exactly, that's how it's called. But I really don't know. I think this is like a full mixed bag. I really don't know what Revenant will get and which one is actually the icon for it even. I'm not sure. We will see. Hopefully they give us announcement rather soon and not only wait like once a week. That would be a little bit sad. I hope we get more confirmation there very soon. But that's just my hope there. Okay, there we go. Evoker's fine. I think not going with Bard is like just a personal choice. They don't want to make the assumption. I think they want to be different and not always name like other MMOs. I think that is the whole thing why they didn't go with Bard. But there was I saw a Reddit thread where someone wrote like a whole like page of why Troubadour is the best name for it. So I mean, apparently it's a good name for Mesmer. We will see if they have some explanation for that. I don't judge. I guess they took the names to be different. Yeah, exactly. I actually think they wanted to be a little bit different, but Evoker exists in WoW, so that's that. But I mean, there are so many names. There are only so many names, so you can't always be like, oh, this is the only thing that like is free now. We should go for a name that fits as well. So I think Evoker is a good name. Maybe Summoner would have been even more like used in other games. So I think that's just how it goes. Yeah, I could see mantras for Paragon. There could be many things. I'm not sure what kind of utilities we will get. Maybe sometimes they also put out new utilities, so not making something that already exists to not interact with any like previous relic and stuff. I'm not sure if they will do that there, because like they have meditations already, Warrior. They already have shouts. I'm not sure what they will get. They could be like, yeah, I think mantras could be. But I'm not sure if that would be similar to Firebrand mantras or more Mesmer mantras, because they are actually quite different how they function. So, yeah. Evoker could be a Condi DPS class with CC for Elementalist. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I'm not sure. Typically, Elementalist is not favoring Power or Condi too much, because Tempest and Viva are both playable as Power or Condi. The only elite spec that Elementalist has that is like somewhat favoring one thing is like typically Catalyst, but that's not even true for the most part. There are a lot of things in Catalyst that are actually also useful on a Condi build. So I actually think it would be both. I don't see the Evoker being only Condi or only Power. I really don't. But maybe I'm just like, I'm not that, like, I can't give you like the best predictions because I'm like not a lore guy. Maybe the Evoker has some lore in Guild Wars 2 already. We will see. We will see what they come up with. Yeah. What a good time to return to the game after 9 years. Yeah, I think right now the game is quite active. A lot of people are hyped up with the expansion, and it's just a good time to come back. I actually agree with that. You might not have like the craziest amount of content releases right now, but the new expansion is on the horizon, and I think a lot of people will still play the game until then, because it's like fun. You know, you want to prepare for the 6 new legendaries coming. That's something that is quite big for me as someone that enjoys collecting stuff. So I will be like saving up, just doing some giveaways in the stream right now, and that's about it. And then I want to use my money for the new legendaries. I don't even care. Getting an underwater aqua breeder is like the best thing for me, because that's the only thing that is missing for me, so I don't even care how it looks. So there's that. But yeah, saving up is probably the name of the game for the next few months, for sure. Unless they do something different and the new Rev Legend acts like a core legend and can be played with other spec legends without equipping a spec. Yeah, I think Revenant is really weird in that regard. I personally think having only 4 core legends that are not like always that amazing is a problem for Revenant, of the flexibility of it. But in general, I would say it's quite likely so that you can only use the ones that are actually bound to the elite spec. I don't think that we will get a new one that is core and the traits itself are the only thing that matters there. But maybe it is. Maybe it is. I actually think that would be amazing, but I actually doubt it, to be honest. Yeah. Will anyone die on Bone Skinner with a 500 KP group? I hope not. I mean, 500 is like not too bad, but it's also not like insane. I mean, let's check how many I have, but I have a lot of them. I have like, let's check. Load. 5.2k almost of those things. So that it's just, there are people that have way more than me. So it's just insane. I mean, 500k peak group for Bone Skinner. I mean, that's just crazy that people even ask for that. But I guess hopefully no one dies now. We will see. Will be interesting. And the one that dies, that will probably be me then, you know. So will be exciting to see. It's always like when I stream and read the chat all the time, then sometimes I'm not focused on the gameplay and then I die. No, that's why I don't want to do it right now. So I will catch up on chat when I'm not about to die. So keep that in mind. Yeah, so I think the design space in terms of what they want to put out in terms of, for example, utility skills for all the classes, I'm very excited to see if they say, okay, we want to put out stuff that is already existing, like mantras, or if they want to come up with something new so that the balancing is a little bit easier, because then you don't have like runes and stuff and relics interacting with those. So I'm not sure. We will see. I'm actually hoping that it has interactions, that you have, for example, shouts on other classes. Maybe Mesmer gets the shouts, maybe something like that, so that you can use the relics, because I really think that is amazing interactions. But I can see that they go the easy way and say, nah, we do a new kind of utility class and this will not have a relic right now. I can see that as well. Mantra feels odd since they shout in Guild Wars 1 for Paragon. Yeah, but shouts are already existing on Warrior, and I'm not sure if they would put out something that is like already existing, maybe just adding 5 more shouts. They could do that, or 6 more, but I think that is also a little bit weird, because that would then get the benefit of getting the tactics trait, and I think that's not very likely because the trait is already quite potent. But maybe they design it around it. We don't know. We don't know. Yeah, giveaway coming up soon. I will do it after this boss. Yeah. I have the feeling that they improve in marketing. There are some new ArenaNet partners like you, and that happened out of nowhere. Yeah, I think they actually try to market the game now in a like, or make it more popular in that sense that it's more active on social media, and I think that's a very good way, because that's very easy to just keep alive if you have very good social media like activeness of your content creators. Then I think the marketing does, I wouldn't say itself, but is very much like improved by that. And the problem was in the past that they just didn't do it correctly. And now I think they are like really looking into that, and are, in my opinion, actually doing a good job with the hype up and stuff. They didn't do it perfectly, don't get me wrong, especially with the naming. I think they should have released the names with the Tuesday announcement. I'm pretty sure that was the way to go. But I mean, better we get them now slowly than we don't get them at all. So I'm actually quite hyped still about it, but I can see why some people were a little bit sad or even annoyed that they didn't give us the names on Tuesday. I definitely see that. Yeah, I think, you know, Snowdrop, to be honest, of course I'm a little bit biased because I got one of the partners, and I'm happy that I got that, but I would say it's better to have more partners that are actually active and getting new ones in there that are active than having all the old ones just being the ones that are not playing the game for the most part anymore. So I think that's a good thing, but you're obviously right that not all of the partners that are like 10 years already partners are like very active anymore. That's obviously not a very nice thing, but I think the new expansion might actually bring quite a bit of them back. So I think that's overall probably a good thing as well. Good move from the giving partner programs like that. Yeah, I agree. I think the partner program is a really good thing. And I think that's like pushing is like doing the marketing to some extent for them. And that's a very good way to do it, in my opinion. I actually really think so. If they wouldn't do that, I think then their marketing would be like almost non-existent or not that much. And I think that's really a shame, because the game is like really good, especially with the gameplay and combat, and I think that partners can market that even better than they can do in their trailers and stuff. At least that's my opinion, because showing gameplay is always better than doing some trailer that looks really cool where you don't see any gameplay. So that's my opinion there. Yeah, they accepted a lot of new partners. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there could be very interesting things with like how to make the Paragon interesting. It could also be something completely new, you know, I don't know. So let's set me up the giveaway. Give me a second. There we go. Giveaway is up. You have to type !enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. 50 gold on the line. We will draw the winner in about like 40 minutes or so. Yeah. It was really strange seeing lower amount of views on your videos. I already thought you're one of the big ones. I mean, I was like trying to be like very consistent and doing YouTube videos, but I'm just a fresh content creator in that sense. I started almost exactly 1 year ago, and yeah, I mean, it's nice that you say that, but I think it's just typical. You grow, your channel grows with time. You just have to put out your content and put effort in, and then you will get some more views, hopefully. And that's my goal. You know, I want to push out good content, make you feel like getting entertained and also getting good like knowledge transfer. So overall, I think it's just, you know, hopefully my channel will grow over time, but I didn't expect it to be like insane amount of growth. Guild Wars 2 is after all not the biggest game. So yeah, I'm happy with how it went, and I'm really happy that I got the partnership now, which is obviously not like guaranteed. You know, there were people going for partner for years, and I got it way faster. I'm really happy about that, of course. You made builds and tier lists, and that got me. Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. The builds is nice. I like to build craft and stuff and make like guides about it, tell you how to play it and stuff. I like that a lot. But the main thing that I nowadays enjoy, to be honest, is like making tier lists, because tier lists are not only fun to talk about and get some conversations going, but apparently you also like it a lot to watch it. And of course, I'm someone that likes to update them, because I don't want to have a tier list that is like absolutely like outdated. So I'm always like on top of that. At least I try to be. And yeah, I mean, if the viewers enjoy it, if I like making it, I mean, then the best thing, you know, that's my at this point, one of my main things on my channel are tier lists. After all, I'm a tier list enjoyer, you know. So there's that. More to come. More to come. I found out about you through your build videos, and they are super helpful. That's what I want to go for. That's what I want to go for, because I want to help the community, especially new players, but also veterans, to find something that they enjoy, because I have the most enjoyment in the game playing different kinds of build. And if someone is not seeing that yet, then I want to get them to try out new builds, having fun with them. And that's just the best way, in my opinion, to experience Guild Wars 2's combat and the whole general content and stuff. So I'm really happy that I can provide that for you. So very good. Just wanted to say that I really enjoy your videos. Always fun and informative. Thanks, Ray. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. As a new player, your channel has been so amazingly helpful. Perfect. That's what I want to hear. You know, I want to get more players into Guild Wars 2, because I really believe Guild Wars 2 is an amazing game, and it doesn't get the attention that it deserves. Even though it doesn't have like the craziest amount of content output, I think the content that it already has for a new player is like years of playing through, and making helpful videos for getting more people in there is my way to improve the community and improve like just the general knowledge or the awareness of people about Guild Wars 2. So for sure. So that's good. What game did you play before Guild Wars 2? What did I play before Guild Wars 2? I mean, that's a long time ago. I play like some games on and off, but before Guild Wars 2, so I really played just one game. I mean, back then I played another MMO. It was called Star Trek Online. That was my first MMO that I played. But nowadays I think it's dead. It doesn't exist anymore. So that was like how I got into MMOs, but it's like, how long is that ago? Like 15 years ago or something? You know, I was like a child back then. So yeah, it's like Guild Wars 2 was like something that I used or played like almost half my life now. So it's actually, yeah, I'm quite like, yeah, happy about the game, but also of course not always like consistent what they do. I'm not always like happy with all the decisions they put out, not at all. But for the most part, I just enjoy the game still. So That's why I would say Guild Wars 2 is probably the first game that I played really try hard or really long term. Yeah. Tier list main. Yeah, exactly. Tier list main. That's just how it goes. Maybe I should learn a new class after 8 years. Have been with Guard since then. I mean, if you are enjoying Guard still, sure, stick with it. But I would say one of the best things to do in Guild Wars 2 if you want to have fun for a long time is trying out new classes, new builds, because this will like make you interested in content that you did like for 100 times on your main, so to say, already, but you might still enjoy it on a different class. That's why I play like Iceboot Saga Strike missions every day, and I don't know, do fractals almost every day. It's just like I play different classes all the time, or at least different builds most of the time, because I just enjoy it so much, going for different things, and I don't know, it feels so good in this combat. That's the thing. But if you are fine with playing Guardian for 10 years straight, I mean, that's also good, you know, everyone plays the game differently. Yeah, for sure. Even as a veteran since early access, your content has been great. I mean, that's what I want to hear. I want to please and just have entertaining, just general good content for new players and veterans alike. So very good. Thanks for that information. Yeah, and I try to engage with the community, as Final One puts it, for sure. I try to have some discussion going, and I want to make some friendly debates. I don't want to offend anybody. Please don't get me wrong. I never want to offend anyone. But some people are like a little bit more aggressive in the comments. That's just happening. But I want to have always some debates. If you have some opinions, some feedback, always let me know. Just be civilized about it. That's my only like big point here. Don't offend me because I say this is my opinion. Don't offend me for my opinion. That's not fair in my opinion. But if you are civilized and give me your arguments why you think like that, I'm always happy to hear that. Very happy actually. I want to get the opinion of every different like direction, of every different just point of view on the matter. Yeah. I missed the Elite Spec names, just joined the stream. Welcome, Eddie, welcome. Yeah, I'm doing good, hope you're doing fine as well. So the Elite Spec names, we have Mesmer, which will get the Troubadour, which is like the Bard, just a different name for it. Yeah, what can I say? Will be interesting. I don't know anything about how it plays, but it will be very fun in my opinion. It looks cool, probably, hopefully having kits so that we have some interesting gameplay as well. We will see. Then Elementalist gets the Evoker, which is some kind of summoner. We don't know yet if it's like multiple pets or if it's just one of them. It's definitely also something that I'm hyped about. And the last one would be for Thief, which is the Antiquary or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. So it's some kind of Indiana Jones treasure hunter style character. I have no clue how the gameplay of it looks like. So I will not judge before then, but I'm not as hyped about the fantasy as I'm for the other two. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is like the most crazy character in existence, or Elite Spec. So we will see. Yeah, those three we got. So the Evoker, the Troubadour, and the Antiquary. Yeah. What is your most played game after Guild Wars 2? Oh, that's a really tough choice. What is it? Oh. I would have to check Steam. I actually don't know. I think it's like a huge gap. Like Guild Wars 2, I have like a lot of hours, like over 10k at this point, and other games are like under 1k. So it's like it's a huge gap. It's like the most played game is probably around 500 hours or something after that. I really would have to check. I don't know. I can't answer this question. Sorry. I've been binge watching all your content on YouTube and recently added you in game. Amazing stuff. Keep it up. Whoa, that's nice. I like it. Binge watching. Very good. That's what we want, you know. More stuff to come, so more binge watching for you then, I guess. Very good, very good. It's 2025. Everyone is offending of anything. Don't be too pressed about it. Yeah, I agree. You are right. You are right. In the internet, there are so many people that are like offended by anything I say, or anyone says for that matter. That is true. But, you know, I'm a rational person. I want to be like, if someone has an opinion, I want to hear it, if it's like different opinion than mine. But if someone is just saying you're stupid in the comments, I'm just offended, you know, this is not helping me. And so yes, I know I shouldn't be offended, but I mean, if someone is offending me, I can't help myself. I have to get over that. I know. But yeah, I know. That's how you would pronounce it? Okay. I mean, I'm not a native speaker, and this is not a word that I use commonly, so I'm not so sure if that's correct, but good. If you say so, that's good. Yeah, I don't know if the names are good or not. I really don't care too much about the lore or content in terms of the names. I'm just like happy that we have the elite specs now confirmed for 3 of the classes, how they are like looking or which one we will get. And I'm always more interested in like the general gameplay of the, like how the combat feels, how the class itself feels, how fluid it feels and that kind of stuff. And I'm looking quite forward for all 3 of those. I think it's not very likely that they will be bad to play. I think it's just the class fantasy of the Thief one that I'm not that like happy about, but maybe it's like I'm changing the opinion on that when it gets released. We will see. Yeah, I think I'm not so sure if it's like this thing that Mesmer needed in terms of like new stuff, getting more support. I'm not even sure if the Bard or the Troubadour will be having crazy support, but in either case, I think Mesmer is already a perfect package. So I'm not sure if the Troubadour is providing like insane new value, but maybe they power creep it and feature creep it. Maybe it's actually crazy as well. We will see. In either way, I'm looking forward to playing something new and not only play Chronomancer all the time. Yeah. Are you planning of a video about raids? I would love to run raids, but I have never done them before. Yeah, I mean, I have some guides about raids as well already out, but especially with the rework for raids and strikes, I will actually go way more hard into raids as well. Do raid trainings, do like guides about it on YouTube. So keep an eye out for that one for sure. Coming up soon, yeah. No, I have not played that, Eddie. I have not played it. Will be excluded from the giveaway if I type enter multiple times? No. You can type !enter as many times as you want, but it will only enter you once. You will not get the chance of winning multiple times just by entering multiple times. As someone who came back to the game, it's blowing my mind how you people get 40k DPS. I can't even hit 20. I mean, you will, just with time and practice and understanding of the encounters, you will get that. You know, just having the perfect gear, understanding rotation, and you will get there. It's just practice. It's just practice. That's the main part. It's not something that is like insane and no one can do it. No, it's like everyone can do it. You just have to be able to understand, okay, I have to practice my rotation. It is not something that you do in the first minute or after playing this new build. You have to like be patient about it. But it's doable. Don't worry too much about it. Yeah, Mesmer already has everything. If you want to make other classes completely obsolete, you can use, of course, Barrier and Revise, which is the only thing Mesmer doesn't have. I mean, you have some kind of barrier, especially if you use the Flock rune. So, for example, if I'm using currently the Flock rune, and then I get like barrier on the healing skill, I'm getting barrier with the 5 skill. So you actually have some barrier, but it's obviously not as broken as, for example, on Scourge. And getting better revives, I think that's even crazier, yes. But I think that would be too insane. Thanks a lot for the Prime, Kame. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the follows, by the way, as well. And don't forget, if you want to enter the giveaway, you have to be a Twitch follower, and subscribers get 3 times the luck. We will draw the winner, I would say, in like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so. Why don't mix stuff up instead giving something a class that already has it? I agree. I totally agree. But we don't know what Troubadour will get, and I think personally Chronomancer is already too strong as a support. Maybe they should nerf Chronomancer, and then Troubadour gets interesting because it has a different aspect then. But I think in the current situation, how like Chronomancer, how broken it is, I don't see Troubadour being better. I really don't. If they would put it out and it's like even more broken than Chronomancer, I don't even know how that would be the case. Then I personally think that would be not good for the game. So I hope it's not like that. But I really don't know. So Banshee, the giveaway is on Twitch right now, the current giveaway that's ongoing, but I have on my YouTube channel, if you all want to join, a giveaway for 2 times 500 gold because I got partner and I want to celebrate that. This is still ongoing. You can check that out on my YouTube channel as well. Don't forget to enter if you're on YouTube already. But on the current giveaway that is like on screen, this is the one that is on Twitch only. Because on Twitch there's also drops, so don't miss out on the Twitch drops. So be sure to join those as well. And just by watching my stream, you will get some nice more loot. Is it possible to make a build of Chronomancer Mirage for fast mob farming? Yes, there are some really good builds out there. I will probably do some as well. I can recommend, for example, Snowcrow's website. They also have an open world section, and there are actually some builds that are like focused around, for example, tagging mobs with Greatsword Virtuoso, I think, or Greatsword Mirage even. So they have some builds there as well. I can recommend Snowcrow's for that, but I will also try to make some. Yeah, glad, Kame, that you see it like that. Appreciate your support. Imagine the flute providing a song which pulses every second, making every other heal irrelevant. Yeah, I really think they should not go for stuff like that. I think that would be horrible if they would put out an elite spec that is like, I don't know, is like even more broken than Chronomancer. I think that would make supports so like crazy, and you would only pick those supports that are like this, and that is not healthy for the game. Balancing a new encounter around stuff that provides like perma barrier, perma cleanses, even the revives, and having the same stuff that Chronomancer has, that sounds like not good for the game. Really not. So I really hope they make it some kind of like reasonable support, if it's support that is like having a niche that is useful in, but not useful in every scenario. I really hope so. Yeah. The core Mesmer skills are pretty good. Mirage is good for this reason too. Yes, the core Mesmer skills are good, but typically it's also because like Chronomancer can double up all of the skills with the Continuum Split. That's also like making it even better, because if you take, for example, the Chronomancer with a Signet of Humility, you have double the CC than a Mirage has. Just straight up. And that's obviously really good. And the same goes, for example, if you want to go for healing. You can double your shatters and therefore get more value from your boons, or more value from your distortion or stability, because you can double up with the Continuum Split. Stuff like that makes it very good. And I hope that Troubadour has another reason why it's good, maybe because of some kind of boon application without a target, maybe. Stuff like that. We will see, we will see. Yeah, glad you enjoy my stream, and I'm really glad that I got the partner as well, so thanks for the congratulations. Yes. Welcome, Amel. Will ArenaNet release next 3 spec names tomorrow? I have no clue how they will do it, because I know that we get a live stream coming on Friday, not this Friday, so the week after as far as I know. And they will probably be the Evoker, the Troubadour, and the Antiquary. So I think those 3 will be in the live stream. I'm not sure if they will release the names of the others before that live stream, but I'm pretty sure that we will get 3 live streams covering all 9 elite specs over the course of a month or something. And I'm not sure if they want to spread out the hype or want to put all the names out like in a very dense timescale, so like over 3 days. I really don't know. I personally would be fine with either, because I got now 3 names and I can be hyped about those. But of course I can see why people that only play Revenant want to know how the Revenant is called. I can definitely see that, so maybe they push it out earlier. We will see. I have no more information about that. I seriously hope the new LA Elite spec is something special and not just a buff disguised as a pet like Spirits and Druid. Yeah, I hope it's something more interesting. I really hope so. I think it would be boring if it would be like some kind of Spirit mix with Catalyst, that you have just an F5 skill and that is just giving you some boons and having some animation like a pet. That would be a little bit boring. I think it should be something cool, something interesting that is like fitting to the class while still being like somewhat like unique and new. Yeah, I really hope so. I'm quite hyped for it, but maybe I will be disappointed when it comes out and it's just some kind of boring Spirit. I hope not, but could be. Mirage has better healing output in general. Yes, that is correct. Mirage has some issues with Might, for example, and sometimes Fury when you play it wrong, but in general Mirage has insane healing output. I have a guide about Celestial Mirage where you play Alacrity Healer and you reach like 80 KD, maybe 16 KDPS nowadays, which is really good for a healer obviously, and you have more healing than Chronomancer because you just spam your ambush on staff and the healing output is higher. That's just like, that is the case. So Mirage is definitely something that I would say is insane in terms of value for healing output, but if you need a general healer, I would still recommend the Chronomancer because Chronomancer is more flexible. For example, you can carry the CC by double Moaing or something, which a Mirage, for example, struggles with, obviously. So stuff like that. I think that is a good distinction. I think that is how it should be. You have one that is actually really good at one thing and you have something that is more general. I think that's good. But I think the problem is that other classes don't have that. For example, Revenant as a healer is still not on par with Mesmer as a healer. And if the new Elite Spec doesn't provide any buffs to Revenant as a healer, it will not provide any value over Chronomancer. So that's the problem. So I hope that they either nerf down Chronomancer or they bring back all like specs to being extremely good as support. I don't know if that's healthy for the game, but I think they should do one of those things. Yeah. They released the next 3 specs Wednesday, and next Friday they will be the stream for Mesmer, Thief, and Elementalist. Did they really say that they will push out the next on Wednesday as well? The new 3 names? I didn't see that information. Yes, the last week of August will be the beta test. Is it the last week? Yeah, 20th to 27th of August. So this will be like in 5 weeks or something. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited to try them out and give you my take on them. And that will be exciting times for sure. Yeah, my Hammer Catalyst that is used for solo is still completely fine. You can use exactly the same gear and it's really good still. They nerfed hammer damage slightly, but it should not affect you for the most part. It's still a very, very good build. It has a lot of defensive, a lot of sustain, crazy boons. It's just really, really good. Also in terms of damage, so don't worry, you can use the same build. Yes. How are you feeling about Warrior getting Paragon Sunspear Elite Spec and how would you imagine they design it? We talked about it earlier and I personally think it is probably the ultimate support for Warrior. I think it will definitely be a support spec that will be like focused mostly on supporting and healing and maybe has some DPS option built in. But I really think it's trying to fill the role of a warrior supporter, probably with alacrity and PvE, and it will probably be some kind of like instant cast utility skills. I'm not sure if they will be called shouts or how they will be called, but I really expect some instant cast skills and a lot of utility that warrior doesn't have. For example, I think Reflect would be very likely. I see some kind of like stability shout or something coming. Stuff like that. I definitely see that. But I think the tactics trade line already is really, really potent as a support. And I think if you have an Elite Spec trade line coming on top of that, I think Warrior might be one of the best supporters after the release of the expansion. But we will see if that's the case. Thanks, Scotch. I really appreciate the Prime. You know, have a higher chance of winning the giveaway. So I guess we will draw the giveaway winner before I go into this convergence. So you have 2 more minutes to enter the giveaway. Exclamation mark enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. 50 gold on the line. We will draw the winner in 2 minutes. Welcome, Coco. Welcome, welcome. Which Herald build is the one that is good for tagging? I will play it later, Banshee. I will play it after this convergence, actually. After this convergence, I will play the Herald build. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping as well for the names. Maybe not in the trailer, but at least in the announcement. But hopefully we'll get it soon. Predictions for the Guardian spec then? I don't really think Paragon will be a Guardian. I think Guardian will be some kind of Dark Knight or some kind of like stuff in that direction. Maybe some kind of like, I don't know, Paladin, something like that in that direction. But I have no clue if it will be like I don't see Paragon. I think Paragon will be Warrior. I'm pretty sure about that. Pretty sure. Yeah. If it says you failed to enter, that means that you already have like entered. That's the only thing there. Yeah, good luck everybody. Good luck. Last chance. And I will draw the winner now. And don't worry, this is not the last giveaway I will do today. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, so it's time. It's time. There we go. Who is the winner? The winner is Javier. Congrats to you. Please let me know your account name. Let me know your account name in chat. And don't worry, we will do another giveaway very soon. And don't worry. Like I said, it's not too bad. Multiple giveaways going on today. And one on my YouTube channel as well. Big one on my YouTube channel. So if you want to get the chance of winning 500 gold, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, where I have another giveaway going on. Congrats. Congrats, congrats. And Give me a second before I open the next one. Let's check. Do you have the right numbers here? I'm not sure if... Wait 1 second. Yeah. I'm not sure if... Is that the correct name? Can you double check? Because apparently it's not... I'm not able to send it. Ah, 4. Okay. There we go. No problem. Just, you know, I don't want to send it to some random other person. That would be a little bit sad. That would be sad. Okay. There we go. Next giveaway is up. Exclamation mark enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. Good luck to everybody. We will draw the winner in probably 40 minutes or something. And yeah, hopefully you get it this time, you know. That's how it goes. Yeah, it's only on Twitch though. So if you're on YouTube, you can join the YouTube giveaway, which is in the description of the YouTube video or stream. And if you are on Twitch, you can also check, of course, my YouTube channel, and you will have the chance there to enter the giveaway as well. It will go on for 5 more days or something, so still some time. And if you're on YouTube, by the way, don't miss out on the drops on Twitch. If you just watch my stream, for example, on Twitch, you get Twitch drops by watching my stream, and today is the last day to do so, so you might miss out on some good stuff. But of course, I'm also happy if you watch on YouTube. You don't have to go there, just saying. And Snowdrop, the mods still don't have a higher chance of winning, so I'm sorry to say that, will still be the case. So by the way, if you want to min-max this thing here, if you do the conversions here often, you can use the Demon Slaying Potion, and you can also use a Night Sigil here. So Force and Night Sigil is actually even better damage if you want to go for that. You can even go for Demon Slaying Sigils and Night Sigils, and you have crazy amounts of damage if you're power build. It's actually quite fun how much you can optimize this conversions. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have some big numbers in the viewers, but it's most people are joining, of course, because of the Twitch drops, and you know, Guild Wars 2, like especially on Twitch, the viewer numbers, if there are no drops compared to there are drops, it's actually insane, the difference. But I'm happy when I get a lot of viewers. If you have any questions, any comments, please let me know. I'm always happy to debate some stuff, improve my stream, my quality content, hopefully. So just let me know. Let me know. Yeah, but in either case, I'm looking quite forward to the expansion. What? This is unblockable. That's mean. I'm looking quite forward to the expansion, and I will have a lot of content covering the lead up to the expansion, of course, but also when the expansion launches, I will obviously try to be like very on point with my build guides and just general impressions of the new expansion. So I'm looking very forward to that, very much forward to it. Currently working on a Wizard's Portal Tome. What other quality of life items are must have in your opinion? I personally really like the personal bank access contract, and I think the Gobbler is a decent thing as well. I think that's not a must-have, but it's a decent thing. What else do I like to have? Of course, the infinite things from the Chance Store, the Gathering, or the Copper Fets. And I like to use all the Portal Tomes. So if you have the Wizards one, yes, you have that, but you also, in my opinion, the other ones are useful as well, so you don't have to go for the full Wizards one, but still. And there are many ones. Let me think about it a little bit, but I think this one, for example, Recharging Teleport to Friend is quite good for lazy people, and the Permanent Bank Access I like a lot. Yeah. I'm a Blade Zone main for a year already. I can do DPS and Alacrity DPS only, but because of my static group, I feel like I should have more stuff. I tried Quick DPS Berserker and I know the rotation, but I have not found the fun in playing that. I'm looking at the Quick Heal Berserker, but still not quite catching my attention. I tried Heal Firebrand and it's okay, but I'm not having fun in playing that. Do you have any builds with Spear Staff for Quick DPS Alacrity Heal? With Spear Staff. Ooh, that's like very specific. I mean, Firebrand, obviously, you said that could be a Celestial Firebrand, could play that, but you said that already. Spear Staff. That's a very like hard like thing to match together, to be honest. I don't think anything is like crazy good with that, to be honest. Spear or staff. Okay, spear or staff. Yeah, I mean, then for example, you can play staff has, for example, Necromancer has a staff as support. Necromancer is really good right now as a support, as a alacrity heal, Scourge for that matter. But you can even play quickness heal on Harbinger now with the staff, so that's actually quite good as well. What else do we have that is like, I think Spear is like typically more of a, not a support weapon for any spec. So yeah, I don't see any support running Spear typically, but I think Staff can be played on Warrior, on Guardian, on Revenant as well. So Vindicator, for example, uses as a healing weapon, uses Staff. But typically Scepter is the main thing there. So there are some builds that actually fill that role that you want to have there. But maybe someone in chat has some more ideas, but that's probably what I mean, of course, Druid is using a Staff. Druid is like really good with Staff. If you want to play Druid, I think that's probably the best selection there for you. Yeah. Yeah, I think Necromancer comes to mind first because Staff is really like the signature weapon now for Scourge. It's really, really good with the new transfusion change. So I actually think this is like the go-to for you if you want to try it out. But I can see that if you don't like Necromancer, then of course don't go for it. Yeah. You think the boon system will ever get reworked? No, I don't think so. I think they will, if they will ever put out a different game or some kind of like Guild Wars 2.5, then yes, they might rework it, but in Guild Wars 2, in the current state of the game, I don't see it. I think that's too much work. They put too much effort into that already. I don't see that they will rework it, even if it's somewhat, like, I wouldn't say necessary, but it would help the game. Even because of that, it's like not guaranteed to be like happening. I really don't see it. It's too much work, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. You can play Firebrand with Spear, and it's actually quite decent, but I think you would also play Staff probably there. So both of them. But the person already mentioned Firebrand, so I didn't want to mention it again. Yeah. Mirage is obviously really good as a healer with Staff, but it is not full heal then. It's like Celestial Heal, and you have like less healing than a full heal Mirage. But obviously still quite a bit more than, for example, Chronomancer. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I would love more specs to have more viable Greatsword builds. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people really enjoy Greatsword as a weapon. And I think nowadays where Greatsword got a little bit power crept, especially on the heavy armor classes, I really think, or Warrior in particular, I think Warrior has a big problem in my opinion in terms of Greatsword usage. I really hope they will buff it to some extent. And I even think in the other like specs, for example, Ranger doesn't really use Greatsword. What else do we have? I think Mesmer can use it nowadays, and Necromancer use it as well to some extent, but I think the general gist is Spear is just typically even a better Greatsword for most classes, so I really hope that they give some uniqueness to the Greatswords as well, and make it a little bit more like, this is a really good weapon in this scenario, and the Spear is a really good weapon in a different scenario, so I'm with you there, I'm with you there. I made Eternity and hardly ever get to use it. Yeah, I know the feeling, I know the feeling. I'm actually not using a lot of specs, even though I play like almost all builds. I'm not using a lot of specs that actually use a Greatsword right now. Which is quite sad because I have like all the Greatsword skins and I really wanted to use them. But there is really no reason in PvE for the most part to do so. Which is quite sad, obviously, yeah. What's your personal favorite builds for each role? So for support in PvE, for alacrity or quickness, I really like to play full heal. I like to play Chronomancer because it's so good, because I can always fill the role and the niche that is necessary for the encounter, so I'm quite safe there. When it comes to quick DPS, I really like to play Quickness Catalyst. I think that's really fun. It's really fast-paced and really interesting to play. And when it comes to DPS, I like Power Virtuoso quite a bit because it's quite safe. I don't have to like rely on my supports too much because I have some invulnerability and blocks in there. but I like to play a lot of different builds. So it's really, for me, it's not one thing that I play all the time. If I would have to play only Power Virtuoso everywhere, I would be quite bored. So I'm always switching around stuff and playing different things, depending on my current, like, mood, I would say. Yeah, maybe in Guild Wars 3, maybe. Yeah, I mean, bows are quite fun. I think bows are like, especially, how is it called? Longbow feels like not a lot of classes use longbow. It's like Condi Berserker and it's Dragon Hunter. On Ranger, you never use longbow. So I really hope they give some use to longbow. I think shortbow is in a bit of a better spot, because you have Renegade and you have Scrapper that use shortbow. But I really hope, or even Condi Soulbeast uses shortbow, so shortbow is in a better spot. I really hope that they give some love to longbow and make some more interesting, especially on Warrior and Ranger, to make them a little bit more interesting for different builds and not only have one build that uses it. I think that, or 0 for Ranger, which is a little bit sad. Yeah. Do you think a Scepter is viable power weapon for Revenant? No, not really. Scepter is really like way too supportive. It is, you would not use that as a power weapon. You would lose a lot of DPS and not get any value from it typically. It's sadly really like the design is so clear that it is a support weapon that has like almost no power scaling. It's really bad. I'm running full Harrier, for example, which is a power scaling stat obviously, and if you run that on any like Vindicator or any healing build on Revenant, you get like almost 0 damage because the weapon itself doesn't provide any damage. So it's like, I would not recommend it. Makes sense, I like those picks. Yeah, Chrono is my favorite support currently as well and looking to try Virtuoso. Yeah, I think Virtuoso is very fun. I really like to recommend Virtuoso to Mesmer players because it feels like it's a really, really good spec to play as a DPS build in PUCs, for example, because you have such a safe time. And that's the good part. Having a big like safetiness with you, even as a DPS, is in my opinion making the build really good, even if the DPS number is lower than the Condi Mirage, which is obviously insane right now, but I think it's still a worth it DPS pick for sure. I play it a lot. Yeah. Yeah, the variety is amazing. You can play a lot of different Chronomancer builds. No, I mean, I also like to play, for example, Alacrity Scourge now with the staff changes. I like to play that one. What else do I like to play? I like to play Quickness Heal Berserker. I'm actually really surprised how well this build works and it's really fun. I like to play that a lot, but it's obviously not always fitting in all the roles because it's only providing Quickness Heal. That's the thing that it provides, and if I, for example, want to be Alacrity Heal, I can't play it. So I like that one. What else do I like? As a DPS build, I like to play, for example, Condi Harbinger. I really think that's a fun build that is useful in Fractals, for example, and in some raid encounters can be very useful. There are like a lot of builds that I like to play, but sadly not as often as I would like to play them, because oftentimes it's just, it's Chronomancer time and carrying the group. That's just the sad part. Chronomancer is oftentimes the superior choice. Yeah. Is there a database with your builds somewhere? Yes, there is. You can type !builds in the Twitch chat, and there is a link to my spreadsheet. Yes. Ah, you found it. Perfect. Chronomancer is maybe too versatile for its own good. Yeah, I think a lot of people, we had that previously as well when Chronomancer released as well, that Chronomancer was so good that everyone needed to have that in a group. And that made it so that a lot of people got bored of it because they were stuck in Chronomancer jail. And that's not something that you want to have for a class. I think it's very good if you have classes that are in a spot that you can play it, but you're not forced to play it all the time. So I think personally, Chronomancer deserves a nerf. That sounds weird, but I think Chronomancer is right now in a spot where everyone that wants to play the most optimal support in PvE typically goes for Chronomancer. Not all the time, not saying that, but most of the time. And I think that's not good, that's not healthy for the game. So I really hope that they say, okay, because of that, we want to nerf down our power output of our supports and Chronomancer is the first like target of that. That would be good, because that would be make Chronomancer more fun to play again, and not being forced to play something that is like really, really good, and no one would go, for example, for a quick heal Harbinger, even though it's not that bad. No one would go for it because Chronomancer is just a superior choice for like 99% of the cases. Yeah, but what can you say? What can you say? I mean, I'm not a balanced dev. I would like to give my opinion to them, and maybe they're here to listen to me, but yeah, they have their own ideas, and they're not bad at all, I would say. It's just sometimes they have different opinions, and that's okay. That's after all their game. Maybe lose either alacrity or quickness to put it in line with other elite specs. Yeah, I think they could make that. They could say Chronomancer only provides quickness. I can see that happening. But I think that would not solve the underlying issue that Chronomancer has like so much flexibility with the continuum split, while also having amazing utility skills. This is like why I would say Chronomancer would, even if you remove the alacrity completely, even then it would be like, okay, you would still play it because it's just really flexible, and you would say, okay, I'll pair it with alacrity DPS then. I think that would not solve the issue. I think they have to like think about maybe increasing cooldowns of continuum split, something like that, or maybe making it so that you just lose a little bit of utility in terms of like, I don't know, the wells maybe. I really, or maybe the trades a little bit like less broken. I really don't know. I think Chronomancer is just in such a spot. Especially the core trades, for example, looking at Bountiful, how is it called? The Bountiful thing in the Chaos trade line, where you get all the boons in terms of like when you shatter. I think this one is really, really good, and Chronomancer can double up on that because you have continuum split, and that's already, again, you make use out of a core thing because you can double up on it. I think the big problem is that the flexibility of Chronomancer comes that you can just double up on all the stuff that the good core kit of Mesmer already has, and you can double it. That's the big thing why Chronomancer, in my opinion, is like very hard to overcome as a support. Yeah, it's actually insane. I really don't know how to nerf Chronomancer without making the build unplayable. I really don't know. Maybe they come up with an idea that is healthy, but for me, it feels like it's really hard to make it so that it's either like not completely garbage or still overpowered. I really don't know how to do it. I tend to agree, but maybe more so buff the others. Yeah, I agree. I think that would be probably the thing that people would like way more, because that would in the end lead to more flexibility, while still having people that enjoy Chronomancer, you can still play it. So I can definitely see that they will go this direction. I'm not sure if they will only like go with that and say we will only buff everything else and leave Chronomancer as it is, because I feel like it's very overpowered. I'm not sure if you can even buff all the other specs to a point like that, but I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't think so, Snowdrop. I really don't think so. They will have to get... I think this guy is gone for good, I would say. Could make Continuum Shatter not reset utility skills. Yeah, they could do something like that, but then what's the point? I mean, it feels like very like forced nerf then, you know? It feels really bad then to use. They had it before that Chronomancer had a big drawback, so you wouldn't have distortion. And that was like a long, it wasn't a long time, but they had it for quite a while. And in this time, no one played Chronomancer in any game mode because it was like really, really like playable for most cases without distortion. And the problem is that if you would make Continuum Split less like broken by not resetting your utility skills, I don't even know if they would be able to do that. If they would be able to do that, I feel like that would be such a huge nerf for like all competitive modes and PvE in most cases as well, that I'm not sure if you would like play Chronomancer at all anymore. I think that is like, that would be killing the spec to some extent. And that's, I think they should find a healthy balance and making it so that it's like still playable, but not as like overpowered. I really don't know how they would do it. Class balance is a nightmare. Yeah, I think it's really hard. You will always have people that are upset. You can't please everyone, and that's like not a good spot to be in, especially for stuff like Chronomancer and all that broken stuff. If you want to make a decision like nerfing at big nerfs, would that be healthy for the game? Maybe, but a lot of people would be very, very sad about it, and you really don't want to like displease all your loyal customers. So yeah, I think they are in a really bad spot. I don't want to be them. Yeah. What is with all the hate towards Chrono and Mesmer? We are squishy and we have to play piano to pull stuff off. Meanwhile, other classes are more tanky and have some utility. Most classes have access to boons and stuff. When I'm on my Circle or Thief, I can really tear things up. Reaper is like crazy too. Yeah, I'm not saying that Chronomancer is like the only thing that is broken, but when it comes to support, I think like the flexibility that Chronomancer has is insane. And that's really niching down the other classes that you would pick instead of a Chronomancer, because they always are measured against a Chronomancer. That's the problem that I see there. I'm playing Chronomancer all the time because it's so good. So I'm with you there. I think Chronomancer is amazing. But I think that's not the healthy, balanced decision. At least in my opinion, yeah. Make it quick heal only, so it pairs up with Alacrity PPS classes? Yeah, I mean, that would be a way to buff Alacrity DPS classes, I guess, as well, yeah. Maybe reduce the strength boon duration for continuum shift skills. That could be a way to make it somewhat more flexible. That you would have, or maybe just make it so that continuum split, the duration is just way lower. That you can't put everything in the continuum split all the time anymore. But that would be then just making it so that you have to play a little bit better and more concise. But yeah, I think there are many ways to fix it, but I'm not sure if there is a perfect way. I'm pretty sure there is not. There is always something that is not working perfectly fine. I mean, I don't care if Chronomancer is OP. I'm just saying if the other specs are not OP, it doesn't feel that fair. And if like Chronomancer would get nerfed and everyone else would be the same level, that would be also okay. I just want to have somewhat of a decent balance in the support things and not have only one support being absolutely broken. That is not what I think is good. It's the kit what makes Chrono so good with the skips. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely broken. It is absolutely broken. That's why I play it all the time. 100%. Troubadour meta incoming? Yeah, I mean, if Troubadour gets even more broken than Chronomancer, sure. Then this will be the meta, for sure. Does it mean we will get it? I'm not so sure about it. If Troubadour can really outclass a Chronomancer, maybe. But I don't see it right now. I really don't. Welcome, Godfather. Welcome. Nice, we did it. No Rune of Holding. Sad times. So let's see if we can get a Fractal Group or something. And let's check what we can do now. I wanted to do some meta events for the Return to achievement. Debuff continuum split by putting one random shatter and one utility skill on triple cooldown. That would be very weird. But I guess they could do something like that. I don't see it, to be honest. I think random stuff in Guild Wars 2 is not very likely. It's not very likely that we get stuff like that. I guess this is the meta event that we're going to too. Let's nerf Warrior. So tanky and easy peasy. How about Thief? Let's nerf Spectre and pew pew one button Deadeye. I don't think so. I think like the nerfs, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of classes have a reason to be played. I think Chronomancer is just overshadowing them because there are so many things that are like coming together on Chronomancer. And I think that there is no niche of a gameplay, of an encounter where you would say, nah, Chronomancer is not good here. That's the problem. I think that's the problem. So if they would fix that, I would be happy about that. That is my main thing. I think the only nerf I want to see is to stealth in World vs. World. Yeah, stealth in World vs. World, I mean, to be honest, I am of the opinion that stealth was a mistake to add in competitive modes. I think stealth is something that is always either absolutely broken and toxic or completely useless if it's too short or too easy to counteract. And I think in Guild Wars 2 it's like really good, and especially in World vs. World. So I think I'm not sure if stealth is healthy there, especially if you can stack it up like crazy. And I really think they should try to think about that, but it looks very challenging to fix that now. I think that's a decision of the past. They are over that now. Yeah, I'm agree. I'm with you, Coco. I'm very excited for the new expansion and the new elite specs, and I don't care if the balancing is like crazy and probably broken in the beginning. I don't care. It will be fun to make content about. It will be fun to play the game, and I'm just excited for that. 100%. I haven't been this hyped for Guild Wars 2 in a while. Yeah, I think that's like for most people in the community actually the case, that we have like a lot of like positive vibes going on. Even though we didn't get any new content, we get a lot of hype up with the expansion and stuff. So I think a lot of people feel that as well. So that's good. That's what we want. Yeah, don't forget to enter the giveaway, ! Enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck, 50 gold underline. And I will pull the winner in, I would say, 5 minutes or so. So keep that in mind, don't forget that. I want buff for Druid to have more stability for party and I will be happy. I think in general, I would say Druid is okay, but I think Ranger needs a core stability skill. I think Untamed needs some stability because then Untamed would be a very good healer. And currently it doesn't have any stability output, and that's like no one plays it because of that. But as soon as you make Untamed having some stability, it doesn't have to be insane stability, but just a little bit stability, then people would play it because it's a good spec, it's a good healer. So I'm actually really hoping they will do that with the next balance patch. I really hope so. I remember Thief did like 100k backstab in stealth in World vs. World. I mean, that was back in the really old days where you could one-shot people out of stealth with 1 backstab. That's like nowadays, I think that's actually quite hard to do because they nerfed down the numbers quite a bit, I would say. But it was funny, I agree. I'm most hyped about the reworking of old systems. Quality of life updates are worth more than story in my opinion. I understand if people are sad about the first update patch not containing any story though. Yeah, I'm with you there, Ray. I personally am not a big story fan in Guild Wars 2. I play it, but I don't care about too much about it. But the quality of life features, if they are like big features, not just some small ones, I think, for example, bringing out the raids with strikes together, that will be a big feature. Adding fashion templates, this will be a big feature. And I really hope, for example, for Agony going account-wide or infusions being wardrobe items, stuff like that, maybe even going back to some fights and adding them to fractals. I think that would be amazing, but we will see if that's like really like insane value and we will get that, or if they just put out core features that are like okay and good, but not insane. I really hope they put a lot of effort into those, making crazy good UI, making it very smooth. That would be amazing. I would really like that. But we will have to wait until they tell us what exactly they will do. I'm just excited for them for now. And we will see if that's really worth, if they're really like not coping too much, if they really can like deliver there. We will see. We will see. What class do you think is the least versatile right now? The least versatile. Probably. It's actually hard. I think all classes can be versatile if you force them, but I think the least versatile class is probably Revenant and Thief. Those two are somewhat less like versatile. Revenant is not versatile because you don't really have a really crazy good healer that is versatile. And Thief is like, Spectre is the only class that you can play in multiple roles, whereas Data is like very DPS driven, as the same goes for Daredevil. So I think Thief is probably the one that I would say is the least versatile, even though Spectre is an amazing support right now. So I think all classes can be versatile if you force it, but I would say there are some like Warrior, Revenant, Thief that are a little bit less so. But even they are not insanely like narrow-minded. I think they are still okay in versatility. But I would say Druid is not played too much in Fractals due to missing stability. I see only Chrono and Firebrand in 90% of the groups. Yes, that is correct. That is absolutely the case. But I think in a perfect world, it's completely fine to have one support that is like not being able to be, or being absolutely broken in one specific like gameplay section of the game. I think that's completely fine. I think the problem is that you don't see it the other way around, that you pick a druid in raids and strike missions. You still pick a chronomancer there. I think in an ideal world you would say, oh, chronomancer is really good with the Aegis and stability uptime. That's why you pick it in Fractals. But as soon as you need a lot of CC, or as soon as you need a lot of healing or cleanses or whatever, you pick a druid. But that's not the case. And that's the thing that I meant. I think the niches are not filled in that way, because chronomancer is good in every niche, and that's not nice. So I personally think it's okay for druid to be not absolutely broken and god tier in Fractals, when it would be absolutely god tier, for example, in raids, or would be really good in open world. But it's not the case. Chronomancer is still filling that slot, and that's the main thing. But I'm with you. I think giving more stability to druid would solve the issue. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Spectre is a decent support. People underestimate how good Spectre is. Spectre is a really, really good support now, but it's definitely not something that is like for everyone. It's like a lot of ally targeting, and it's like, it feels a little bit different than other supporters in Guild Wars 2. That's why not all the people like it, but I can see why you would say Spectre is not like crazy good. Yeah. Yeah, Spectre got buffed quite hard, and it's really good in PvP, it's really good in World vs. World as a support, it's really good in PvE as a support. You can even play it as a full DPS build, Alacrity DPS build. Spectre is really versatile, but it's the only Thief spec that is so versatile. So I would say Thief in general is probably still something that is not as versatile, yeah. Yeah, it's true, like Snortop puts it. A lot of people don't want to play Spectre because they have bad experience when it came out, and a lot of people just don't want to try it again. And that's sad, because it's really good. I made a video about it a while ago. It's insane how good it actually is. It's really like, you would not expect how good this currently is as a support. It has amazing barrier output, insane stability, insane general boon output, and it's not too hard to play. So I personally really enjoy it, but I can see why some people would not play it for sure. Yeah, I mean, the new specs might make balancing even harder. I agree with that, Skywolf. But what can you do? You know, I think I made a video about it a while ago, and I think, or last week, I think fun is very important. It's very underrated. If everything would be perfectly balanced and not fun, no one would play the game. So I think if the new elite specs are fun, I'm happy with that. That's the more important part. Ended up taking into Fractals yesterday, and it wasn't bad. Not a chrono, but pretty good. Yeah, I think Spectre in Fractals is also not bad, because you have decent stability and even some H's in there. So I think Spectre is actually surprisingly good there. It's probably like, probably even the third best one, maybe the fourth best supporter after Firebrand and Chronomancer. So it's actually not bad, yeah. I think you have to know how to play it though. Only then it works. So quite good, I would say. I'm in a group with Aviva in Fractal 99CM, which did 50k DPS on. I mean, that's what you want to see, Wolf. You know, that's the people that you want to get in your group. So be lucky, be happy about your luck there. Sometimes you get a Weaver that only does 10k DPS, but most of the time Weavers are actually quite good, because not a lot of people play Weaver, and only the people that actually know what they are doing play it. I think I have to tune down my graphic settings even more. It's quite laggy. Yeah, exactly. You can heal in 99% of the content and you will be completely fine. It's really just like, it feels like people are just saying, oh, Spectre is not that good, because that was the case when it came out. But right now, it's not. And that's a problem. Thanks, Katja. Really appreciate the bits. Thanks a lot. Very nice hype there. Hyped for the Evoker as a cute little fox class main. It's the best expansion already. Thanks for the bits. Really appreciate it. And I'm hyped with you. I'm with you there. I think it will be very exciting times to actually play Guild Wars 2, especially Elementalist. I think a lot of people like the Evoker style class. Yeah, I'm with you there. And thanks, Vex, for the sub. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. So good luck to everyone. And special good luck to Vex for the sub. Yeah. And !enter, you have to be a Twitch follower to win. And we will do the giveaway in probably like, I don't know, 10 minutes, something like that. I had a 0 support CM Fractal group a few days ago with Spectre who was carrying us, but I have no idea what we was doing. Yeah, I mean, Spectre can be played as some kind of like Celestial build or even if you play Alacrity DPS Spectre, you actually have some barrier in the kit as well. So it's actually, it's surprising how good this spec is. You just have to know what you're doing. As soon as you like struggle with the skills, what they are actually doing, then you will not be succeeding. That's the main thing. Yeah. I'm just trying to achieve a steady 30k right now, but some of these people really pumping. I mean, that's good, you know. Sometimes you want to learn from the best, and if you see someone that is actually really good, maybe ask them how they did it or what resource you should get to. Yeah, I think learning and improving at the game is a very fun part. I can highly recommend doing that. I was a Daredevil main until EOD, nearly made me quit the game because I was so tired of the spec. Yeah, I think Daredevil has still the problem that is very like one-dimensional. It's a DPS spec, that's it. And I feel like that it's a good DPS spec, it's not bad, but it is only very one-dimensional, and that's not something that you want to be, because that's a little bit boring. You will get burned out after a while, and that's sad. So hey, it's very good that you like Spectre now, because Spectre is very flexible. That's the opposite of Daredevil, I would say. Play Celestial Accuracy DPS Spectre with Scepter and Shotbow in open world, it's really nice. Yeah, I think Celestial is really good on Spectre. Probably one of the best builds to be played with Celestial for group content and open world. It's really, really good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I love seeing people do well, especially if they're kind enough to let me pick their brain. Yeah, exactly. I think I heard that sometimes when I was not streaming, someone was writing me, I'm playing the same build as you. Why do you do 10k more DPS than me? And I was like, yeah, it's probably because of that and that. And I could help them figure out what was the problem, why they could not pull off the rotation and stuff. I think that's really nice if more people would do stuff like that, because that's what we need in the community. More people that are willing to help improve others, because then we have a more like healthy environment. If everyone would just ignore people that are asking for help, that would be very sad. So I'm always willing to help. So just let me know if you have anything like on your mind. I'm always happy to help. Of course, I can't guarantee that I will give you a perfect answer, but I will try my best. So let's see. I think there will be downtime after this again, so we can draw the giveaway winner. So let's say a little bit longer, 5 more minutes or something. If it says too many tickets, you are already in. And like I said, this is only on Twitch for the 50 gold, but I will, or currently have on my YouTube channel also a giveaway for 2 times 500 gold as well, for the celebration of my partnership with ArenaNet, so be sure to check that one out as well. Oh, how many times I did this event when I was grinding for the legendary open world armor. Oh, I'm so happy that I did not have to do it again, but now I have to do it at least once for the, how is it called? The return to Soto achievements. So I will do them, I guess. And it's not too bad. It's like it was over a year ago that I did it the last time, so it's okay. You know, you don't have to like grind it every day to get it now. That's good. YouTubers, commenters don't ask for help. They already know everything. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, especially on YouTube, they feel like they know everything. Yeah, I really think that's surprising how much they actually know. I think a lot of people should make their own YouTube channel on YouTube and create content about Guild Wars 2 and tell us what is the best build. And I think that I'm not talking about with irony here. I think a lot of people, if they would make a YouTube channel, I think Guild Wars 2 would be better off. But I think a lot of people in the comments think they know everything, and then that is also misleading oftentimes. You know, spreading misinformation is not good. So always, that's what I want to tell you here. If you see something, some mistake that I did in a video or something that is not completely correct, please let me know. I'm always happy to adjust it and make it correct. So please let me know. And only that way I can guarantee that like I don't spread misinformation. Happens from time to time that I get something wrong, but I try to, of course, do my research beforehand. So I'm always really important that you tell me about it. Yeah, I think the meta event is okay. It's not too bad. It's just like if you do it like, I don't know, almost 100 times just to grind the achievement for, or the open world armor for in like 100 days straight every day, I think then you get a little bit bored, but I had to get that done at some point to get the legendary open world armor. So I'm with you there, Sky. It's not too bad, but I'm, you know, at some point you don't want to see the same event over and over. I have 2 sets of the tier 2 legendary open world armor. I'm happy I do not have to do it very often for this event. Yeah, I mean, I was grinding for the tier 2 set as well for all of them. I have them now, and I was so happy that I got it. You know, I was like not playing Soto events for like 10 months straight or something because like I was just burned out of the maps. That's just what happens if you grind them too much, I guess. Yes, I have an MMO mouse. That is correct. Yes. Nice, Loopy. That's what we want to hear. More content creators. More might to you. That's good. That's what we want. While true, a lot of people also spread opinion as facts, and that a lot of times hurts the games as well as talking about it. That is true. I think I try to make it clear that, for example, my tier lists are always trying to be objective for the most part, with always having some kind of personal opinion touched on there. You know, a tier list is after all a tier list of my opinion. So that means that I try to be objective, yes, but there will be some kind of biases and prejudices and stuff in there. And of course, my opinion on the matter. So I think I try to always stress that when I talk about tier lists and other stuff, that this is my opinion. But when people state facts, even though it's their opinion, that's unhealthy. That is true. And that is really bad if that happens. For example, a new player gets someone that states their opinion as a fact. The new player doesn't know it and will follow this so-called advice, even though it's not really helping the new player. So I think always be really careful how you phrase it and be, so to say, constructive. And if it's your opinion, write it in that way. That's really what I want to mention here. It's okay to, it's even good to express your opinion, but don't state it as a fact. Yeah, good point there, good point. Again, glad to see you getting some much deserved recognition and success. I'm off, have a good day. Yeah, you too. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. There we go, we did it. Yeah, opinions are obviously, that's the main thing about opinions, is that they are very subjective. You know, an opinion is supposed to be subjective. It can't be, you can't take an objective opinion. That is weird. That doesn't make sense. It's like a paradox. I got full raid armors easy. Yeah, I got them as well. You know, I'm just a crazy person. I have like the open world armor, I have like the raid armor, and for the light armor set, I even have the PvP armor. So yes, I'm a crazy person. I have like way too many. So I'm with you there, Sky. I think the raid one is way more like healthy for your mind. But yeah, I mean, I guess at some point you just have to set yourself some own goals, even if they are crazy. Do you think the new legendaries will require a lot of specific materials, causing it to skyrocket? I think there will be some materials that we require, but I think most of the materials for the new legendaries will probably be new materials for the new maps, so that we are forced to play them. That's my prediction there. But I don't know. I have no information on what the legendaries actually will require. It's just my prediction. It makes sense. Nice. Very good. I will check it out, Loopy, when you are up and releasing your first videos. I'm really excited to see that. Another person will state their opinion as a fact and die on that hill defending that while calling you wrong. Yeah, I think it's important that if someone tells you that you are stating a fact that is wrong, or you say an opinion that is like your opinion, but someone else has an opinion that makes sense, and then it's fair for me at least to change my opinion, you know? If you come up with a really good argument why, for example, X class is better than Y class, and I say, yeah, you're right, then I change my opinion. I think I have to be honest with me and not say, no, my opinion is the only one that counts. So I really, really want to stress that if you have some comment under a tier list or something, and you think something is like objectively not true, or you have something that is like a valid argument why I did something in a different way, please let me know. I will always try to include that in my future tier list as well. You know, I'm willing to improve and learn in my opinion as well. That's really important. Yeah. Do you think that core builds should have a place in PvE? Currently, core power burn elementals might be the strongest one that is capping at 35k, which is nice, but well, not 45. I think there is a core warrior build that is also at around 37k or something. So those two are quite good, yeah. The problem is I see both sides, you know. Core builds are being played by some people that don't have the expansion. And I see why people would have like to say, okay, it would be nice to balance it in a way that core builds are also useful. But then I see ArenaNet side, which is that they want to sell the expansions with elite specs. And if you have no incentive because core builds are completely on par with elite specs, then I think there is no reason to purchase the expansion and they would not make that much money. So I can see definitely both sides of the arguments. And I would say it would be nice to have at least a little bit of flexibility with the core specs. Maybe not make them 100% of an elite spec, but not make them complete garbage. So I think there is definitely a sweet spot there. So I think they could buff them a little bit more at least. But it's hard to do that without also buffing the elite specs. That's the problem. Because elite specs obviously use core traits as well and core utilities. So if you buff something in core, you would probably also buff an elite spec. So it's in that regard a little bit like challenging to find a sweet spot there. So what is the name of the elite spec? So we get for Mesmer, we get the Troubadour, which would be the Bard Minstrel one. So it's like for Mesmer, the flute wielding one and stuff. This is the Troubadour. Then for Elementalist, we get the Evoker, which would be the Summoner. And then we get for Thief, we get the Antiquary, which is the Treasure Hunter Indiana Jones style class. So very interesting. I did not expect that one, but that's what we get. I'm actually thinking of going back to Core Necro. I mean, Core Necro is in competitive mode, so right now it's actually quite good. But in PvE, I would say it's a little bit lackluster. Some people just get triggered online for anyone having different view or build. Sometimes the mentally unstable people's message spam is good though for the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, I think if you didn't notice on my YouTube channel, I don't like, if someone has a comment that is criticizing me or criticizing my content, I typically don't like censor it. So I will just leave it there. And if it's like offending me, I will ignore it. But I will typically not delete it if it's not like really, really offensive or harassing anyone. I think if it's just like expressing that my opinion is wrong in a little bit of offensive way, then I will leave that, because I think it's okay to express the opinion even if it's not in a nice way. If it's like offending any like crazy harassing, even some kind of racism and stuff, I of course ban it. I have no interest in having that on my community. But if someone is just expressing an opinion in a slightly aggressive way, yeah, I mean, do what you have to do, I guess. That's my idea there. It's just how it goes. I hope they make the legendary Aqua Breeder look like a Stormtrooper Max. maybe. I don't know anything about how it will look like. I just know I will craft it instantly when it comes out, because it's like the only legendary piece that I don't have. Yeah, so. Well, without expansions, you cannot do much with the core build, just reckless. Yeah, I agree. I think the game is not it's like you don't play it without expansions. That's just not how the game is supposed to be played. You can try it out for free using my referral link, for example, but I would not recommend playing the game for 1000 hours as a core player. I think getting one expansion at least is helping you so much, for sure. Yeah, you can play Old Lion's core as well, apparently, even though you would probably not succeed if you have like 10 new players with only core classes. Yeah, I think a better class is subjective, because almost every class can do the same thing nowadays, but some of them is easier and have faster access to utility without losing their personality, of course ignoring all taste matter. Yeah, I agree. That is true. That is true. The classes are very much homogenized nowadays. That is true. A lot of creators do that on purpose, saying something remotely wrong will create buzz in the comments and views. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and sometimes in my tier list I put in some hot takes that are like really hot and people are like trying to make it right or are different opinionated about that. I can see that, but I don't want to just make a like factually wrong statement so that people get triggered in the comments. I think that's also like not nice to do that. I want to help people, you know. I don't want to spread misinformation just for the sake of getting comments for the algorithm. That's also, I think you need to find a sweet spot there and make some interesting conversations going, but don't spread misinformation. Yeah. What class would be the best to play as a free-to-play dude? I mean, just play the game on the class that you enjoy. If it's Elementalist right now, play it. And if you find a time where you say, okay, now I want to get the expansion, or I see like the value of getting it, then you buy it. I think the core game and stuff, you will have fun with it on a core class as well, but you will at some point reach a like state of mind where you say, nah, it's only good if I get the expansion. If you then say, yeah, it's worth it for me to get it, then sure, get it. If not, then I guess that's it for you in the game. I think you should not choose a core class just in the way that you say, I will play that forever. I think if you like the game, at some point you will purchase the expansion. It's very unrealistic, in my opinion, that you will play 10k hours on core Guild Wars 2. That it's not gonna happen in this time, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The Aqua Breeder is only underwater. It does not provide any value, not even any looks or any stats while you are... Holy shit, the lags. Yeah, while you are on land. It's like really, it's not the case. I have to tune down the graphics to nothing. Sorry for the bad looks, but this map is like insane. It's roasting my GPU apparently. Just have started a free-to-play account to see how it plays. The restriction on the trading posts are definitely there, but it's fun having to scrounge together whatever equip you can get. Yeah, I agree. I think the restrictions on the trading post, that is the thing that I would say is the most heavily, like, thing that I would say why people would not always keep playing core things. I really think that the Guild Wars 2 free-to-play should be labeled that Guild Wars 2 is not free to play as a game. I think Guild Wars 2 should be labeled as a free trial. An infinite free trial. That's more like it. Because you can try the game, you can have fun, but you will probably not play the game forever in this mode. It's really a trial in that sense. Like, for example, Final Fantasy XIV does it and that kind of games where you try the game and after a while you purchase the expansions. That's the same for Guild Wars 2. I don't really see you playing forever with those trading post restrictions. I think that's too much to ask, which is okay, which is completely okay. I think getting the expansion at some point is good. I really would recommend that. Not only because I have a referral link now, but of course also because I think it's like very healthy for a game that is so good for Guild Wars 2 to at some point force you to spend some money, because only then the developers get something from you. Playing the game for free for over 1k hours is insane. So I think you can't expect a company to live from only free-to-play players. At least for such a good game in Guild Wars 2. Yeah. With exotic weapons and rare armor, it works fine. Doing low-level fractals and not really holding back the group. I mean, that's perfect then, Free to play with exotic gear. I guess that sounds, if you can succeed with it, perfect. Yeah. Which legendary armor we beginners should make? Guys, heavy, medium, or light? Thoughts? I think that depends what kind of class you're playing. I think if you play a lot of like Revenant, then you should go for the heavy armor one. If you go for only light armor classes, go for the light one. It's always heavily dependent on you. If you don't have any preferences, I think probably light personally would probably be the best right now for PvE. But that's just a subjective take. I can't give you I can't say this is the only class and armor you should get first. That's unrealistic. Depends on your gameplay. Okay, so last 2 minutes or last minute, and then we will draw the giveaway winner. Exclamation mark enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. And we will draw the winner in like 1.5 minutes. Yeah, I think Guild Wars 2, to be honest, it feels like that the free-to-play aspect of it is, in my opinion, restricted free-to-play that you only lose by purchasing an expansion. So I personally think, in my opinion, it is feeling more, because of the trading post restrictions, some kind of free trial, even though it's an infinite free trial. But it's not like you can't experience the whole game in the free version. So it's not free-to-play, in my opinion. But maybe I'm too harsh on that. Maybe I'm just expecting too much. But I did heavy first because I love guard, but light would have been better. So many different classes and roles covered. Yeah, exactly. I think light is just very flexible in all the different ones that you can play. I personally would go for light first, but it's heavily depending on what you're playing. Yeah, I think actually the free-to-play is like really, really good in Guild Wars 2. It's really, really good. You can get so much content out of that. It's amazing. But I'm saying you would probably never play it for 1k hours. You would at some point say, I want to experience the elite specs as well, or getting more trading post interactions. So I would definitely say that this at some point happens. Yeah. Okay, I guess it's time. Last chance to get in. Yeah, I agree. with you, Sohu. I totally agree. I think Guild Wars 2 is one of the best MMOs in terms of monetization, because even the gem store stuff you can earn in-game. So by converting gold into gems, yes, it might not be a reward that you get from a raid boss, but it's really cool that you can get it in-game as well. I think the monetization in Guild Wars 2 is amazing. I totally agree with you. Okay, last chance. I will now close the giveaway. Let's see who wins. And it's Hein Bear. Congrats to you. Please let me know your account name in chat. And don't worry, we will do another giveaway soon. Congrats, congrats. $99 daily? Yes, very good. That's what we want. So let me know your account name if you are still here. Otherwise, we have to re-roll. Hein Bear. Is Guild Wars 2 the battle pass? Is done so well? Yeah, I agree. The Wizard's Wall thing is one of the best in any game that I saw. It's so good. It's really so good. It's so well executed and so like just good. It's just really, really good. It's amazing. Okay, I will give you like 1 more minute. Ah, that's you. Now you're here. Very good. Please let me know your account name, Hein Bear. You won the 50 gold. I read that accounts created after 2015 require SMS or app authentication in order to access guild bank storage and in-game mail. Do people with old accounts actually have burner phones too? I think that was a change. I had that before. I have accounts that are like from that time, and I don't have that. So I actually don't think this is like probably something that they added after that, but they just want to make sure that you don't use free-to-play accounts for gold, like selling and stuff. So I don't know. So Hein Bear, please let me know your account name in Twitch chat so I can actually send you the gold. Only thing I wish is that stuff like bag or character slots wouldn't be in the gem store. Every other MMO lets you get these from in-game activities. Yeah, I think they want you to really purchase that stuff with gold to make a big gold sink there. But I can see why you would argue like that. I can definitely see that. There we go. Good job. So let's send it. Congrats again. And give me a second and I will open the next one. There we go. Next giveaway is up. Just type exclamation mark enter in the chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. We will draw the winner in 40 minutes or so. And subscribers get 3 times the luck. Thanks. I'm appreciating your gratulations. I'm really happy about the partnership as well. Yes. So let's see what we do now. Maybe we do some fractals. Also wanted to do the Cold War strike mission because it's daily. Oh, this is like this will be insane. Should I join a 5k KP group? Is that good enough? Will that be interesting? Will be interesting content, I would say. Yeah, don't worry. It's fine. You reacted in time, so that's completely fine. Snowdrop is already in there. Okay, we are doing it. We are doing it. Let's see how the group looks like. Will be exciting to see if it will be content. Will be this time I will focus more on the gameplay. More on the gameplay than yesterday. Yesterday I was reading chat while doing fractals, and I can tell you it's sometimes a little bit challenging to keep your group alive while reading chat. So there's that, I guess. CM means challenge mode. So if you join a group that has CM there, that means they will do the challenge mode of a specific fractal, which is not, in most cases, it's a little bit more challenging, but it's not like insane. It's not like it's a step up that you would not be able to complete at all. All accounts require different emails, but will accept the same phone number. Yes, that is true. I noticed that as well. So you can create a lot of alt accounts for whatever reason. For example, some people actually farm the Wizard's Vault on multiple accounts. You can do that. That's quite lucrative if you want to do that in terms of gold power. But of course, that's maybe a little bit boring if you do the same activities over and over. But definitely worth doing for gold, I would say. Yeah. 5K is interesting because this is like proving that those people here did this like, I don't know, like a few times. 5K is over the course of years is not too hard to reach 5K as skill proof. And that means that those are probably a little bit of newer types of players, while we are doing something that is actually not hard, but might be challenging for some of the newer players. So I think that will be an interesting group to see if I can actually heal enough to keep them alive or if they do the mechanics correctly. But in either case, it will be content for you to watch. I guess that will be interesting. Thanks, Faiz, for the tier 1. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to enter the giveaway then. According to the help section on Guild Wars 2 website, even paid accounts created after August 2015 are supposed to be affected by that. Might be. I have not logged into those accounts like for quite a while, ever since they did the change that the logging in is the, like, there was back then in the old day, when you logged in, you got a reward. And that means that you got instant gold. That's what I was doing. Back then I had some purchased accounts like Heart of Thorns and stuff where I could play the game as well. And I could just log in to get some dailies. But nowadays, this is not the case anymore because you have to do actually some stuff with the Wizard's Vault, which is good. I like that. So that meant that I didn't log in my other accounts anymore. Tomorrow you will be carrying a training group? Maybe. Could be. Just do the weeklies and be done with it. Easy second account farm and multiboxing for maximum profit. I mean, I wouldn't recommend multiboxing, but I would say in general, having multiple accounts can be a very worthwhile investment. I personally don't do it because obviously you see I do a lot of content creation. That's my main purpose and I don't need that much gold in the game anymore. I give it away mostly. But 100% sure if you want to get a lot of gold in Guild Wars 2, Wizard's Vault farming is a good way of doing so, for sure. So now I will focus more on the gameplay than on the chat. So if you have any questions, please highlight your message so I can actually read it then when it's back, like when I can read the chat. Don't want to fail my group here, especially because I'm not sure how much experience the players have in here, other than Snowdrop, of course. What's the difference between Ascended and Legendary gear? Yes, the stat swapping and the skin. It's not how much stats you get, it's just that you can swap the stats. Yes, that is correct. It would be content if you run it with non-chrono class. I mean, I can swap, to be honest. If you want, I can actually swap to my... What can I play? I have to check if I actually have some kind of agony infusion set up for my other supporters. I really have no clue. But I think that could be a good point. I could actually play some support classes that are not Chronomancer and Fractals. Maybe I will play maybe some Quickness Heal Berserker. But currently I'm a Alacrity Heal, so I can't do that right now. But I could also play some... What is... Probably Tempest I could play in some Fractals. We will see. I will try it probably next stream then. Thanks a lot for Sunken for the tier 1. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Quickness Berserker is completely fine in Fractals, especially if you're not doing challenge modes, but even in challenge modes I would say it's completely fine. It might not be the absolute Chronomancer killer, but it is definitely a build that you can play. Yeah. Focus on chat. I will not focus on chat this time. Not this time. Because last time I almost died because I was reading chat too much. I don't want that to happen, you know. I don't want to grieve my group by just only reading chat messages. I'm after all still playing the video game. Yes. Especially in a 5k group, you don't know if they are actually... Yep, 5k is no drop. Good one. I saw that. I saw the Kinfall change, and to be honest, it didn't change too much. I played it yesterday. It's still doable. It's not like insane challenging. You can do it now without CCing still, and you can do it with with CCing, it's not too much of a difference. I think that's how it should have been, that it's like better to CC, but it's not strictly necessary. So I'm actually happy about the change, but it doesn't matter too much, I would say. Yeah, we will do it hopefully in this group as well. If they die, they die. It's their fault, yeah. If they die, you know, it's after all their fault. Why should I care? I'm just a healer, you know. You know, I will not let them die, you know. I don't want that. So that's mean. Always heal your party members. You're after all the healer, you know. You have to support them to the end. So if you're wondering why I'm going for the Signet, I'm just wanting to extend the boons, because this one is like a little bit annoying with all the splitting going on. So extending boons on your allies is really helpful to keep up the boons at 100%, even like alacrity, quickness and that stuff when you split. So that's why I'm using the Signet here. And the healing output is not really high that you need for this fight to keep your group alive. So there is that. Exactly, you know, the chat is way more important than the people in the puck group. I agree, but I still will want to finish it at some point, this fractal. So, of course, I don't want to keep them like not healed and not condi cleansed and stuff like that. But you can see right now it's working quite well, so not too bad. Let's see if we can, when Troubadour comes out, if I will do that on Troubadour. But I actually doubt it. I think Chronomancer is so good in fractals. If they don't nerf it, I don't see it actually being like dethroned. I really don't. Doesn't mean it will not happen, you know. They could come up with some crazy support stuff. You know, they could also, I don't know how crazy the elite specs will be. Maybe they add some crazy new mechanics, some kind of unique buff to Troubadour that helps you, I don't know, getting more healing or something. Could be. I really don't know. Really interesting. I don't know, Habi, what you meant without CC. Maybe you can tell me, but yeah, you don't need to CC everything in this fractal. It's actually CC is just like not necessary necessarily. That's the weird part about this fractal. If I win the next Revel, please tell Sim I'm having dinner. Yes, I will keep that in mind. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. If you are a Twitch follower, you can enter my giveaway, !enter. Subscribers get 3 times the luck, and you will have the chance of winning 50 gold. So now we are slowly getting into the dangerous phase of this fractal. Let's see if no one dies here then. And I can't read chat at all then anymore, because I don't want to look in the eye. 95 kinfall fractal, you delay the CC. So you can do both. So you can either do no CC and completely ignore it, and it still works. We did it yesterday and it worked completely fine. It was a little bit like more annoying to do, but it was not like absolutely undoable. I still was able to out-heal it. And you can do it the intended way and completely like CC as soon as it happens. That works as well. It's really not too hard or challenging either way. It's just, I would say, you can't cheese it that easily anymore, because before it was like there was not a lot of damage applied when the CC was happening, so you were just waiting and not CCing at all, and that's not the intended way, and that's why they changed it. But it's still completely fine to not CC it. Yeah, you will see it. We will do it. I'm not sure if we will CC, but you can see it then for sure. Isn't the barrier pulse just negating so much damage? It is. It is. I was reading chat again. Yes, the thing that is really annoying with the fight in Kinfall when you ignore it is that it's providing a lot of agony. And that is really annoying, because agony is something that, especially if you're a healer that doesn't provide a lot of barrier, the agony is really killing your healing output. So it can be quite annoying to out-heal it, but it's completely doable still. Yeah, that's true. The barrier itself, that is true. That is true. I think the boss, yeah, that is true. I have not checked the boss, to be honest. I was more focused on healing. So I'm not sure if we will see actually if that's the case, if the barrier is really like that annoying that on the boss that you can't do it anymore. I actually didn't check it. I was more focused on if the healing is out of my healing output is like high enough. And sad to say, but I was also focused too much on chat. I was not really looking at the boss too much. So, my fault, I guess. No, some CC, please. No, I guess not. That's okay. Yeah, and like I mentioned before, because I want to celebrate that I got ArenaNet partner, I also have a giveaway going on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. 2 times 500 gold giveaway. So really nice. So check that out. Really easy to enter. And don't miss that out. You have like not completely, 5 more days left on the giveaway. Everyone's CC in my group, but the boss phases pretty quickly, so it's a huge hit. So yeah, I think the boss itself, I think now it's way more healthy how it's played, but I think the only part that I would criticize about this Fractal now is that the first part is a little bit boring with killing all the Ice Brute guys. I think that's a little bit annoying, but overall I really enjoy the Fractal. I think the Fractal itself is, in my opinion, very well done Fractal. It might not be S tier, but it's definitely a decent Fractal. Yeah, I hope that all the new Fractals will be like that. The same goes for the challenge modes. I really like it if the challenge modes are a little bit more challenging and more punishing, but not necessarily longer. I don't want to have a challenge mode that is like way longer than a normal mode. I think I really enjoy the fast-pacedness of Fractals. So I really hope they continue with that. Thanks for the Prime Inview. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for your support. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. You have a higher chance of winning now. No, Snowdrop, don't die on me. The healing was bad. Before it, yeah, I think before it was like really annoying. I would say before with the cheese of the CC of the Kinfall end boss, I think that was a little bit like, it felt like too easy. It was like you were doing some exploit by making the boss like doing nothing. But now it feels way more balanced. I like the Fractal end boss at least now very much. Yeah, I agree. I just wish we would return to 97, 96 CM design. I agree. I think the best Fractal, I have a Fractal tier list on my YouTube channel where I rate the Fractals subjectively, which is the best Fractal. And I think personally, Nightmare and Shattered Observatory are, in my opinion, the best Fractals. Not only the challenge mods, but especially the challenge mods are really, really fun. So I'm always like big like enjoyer of those Fractals. But they didn't come up with new Fractals that are better than those. I hope they will do at some point, but right now they are not. That much is like... No one saw that. No one saw that. Just watched your what version should you buy video. Does Steam not have the upgraded versions? As far as I know, Steam doesn't have any upgraded versions, and it also doesn't have any referral links that work there. So Steam is like, you can only get the pre-order. As far as I know, you can't get any of those things. Yeah, sadly. That's like an oversight of them. Thanks a lot for the Prime, Ciano. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So that's just true. Surprised we never saw a Twilight Oasis CM. I think overall there are a lot of like CMs that you could easily introduce to Fractals without having to add a whole new Fractal. I think there are actually a lot of ways how you could, for example, make a challenge mode out of the Twilight Oasis. I think Might Ring could easily be a challenge mode as well, to be honest, because that is a really fun Fractal in my opinion, really classic. So I actually really hope that this is like, that they is maybe on their mind to add some challenge mode to existing Fractals. But of course, it's way better selling point if you would add a new Fractal altogether. Because adding a challenge mode is only for a fraction of the player base, whereas a full new Fractal is for everyone that plays Fractals. So I doubt it a bit if they will ever do it, but I can definitely see they will, that the value of it. Is someone doing it or not? I will do it, I guess. I just came. Sorry if you have already answered this question multiple times. Where can I find the names? In the Twitch chat, there should be the pinned comment on top of your chat. There is the link to the blog post, or not blog post, but to the thing of ArenaNet, the Blue Sky message, where they shared it. But it's just the Bard is called the Troubadour, and it is for Mesmer. And then we have the Evoker for Elementalist, and then we have the Antiquary for Thief. This is what the thing shows. We don't know anything about how the specs will play out. We just know their names and we know which class will get it. Which is obviously better than nothing, but it's obviously still not everything that we wanted to know, I guess. I guess no CC. That's okay. I wish they would make a daily system for Fractal CMs, like 3 daily CMs, and the overall rewards is similar to doing them all. Yeah, I think personally, now if they add another CM, then you have a lot of CMs to do, which is obviously good for people that play a lot, but it's also a little bit like feeling like people are forced. If you want to get all the rewards from Fractals, it feels like at this point almost like 2 hours of Fractals. And I think if you add another one and another one, I think at some point they have to find a way to make it a little bit more like streamlined and not make it so that you will get like insane amount of time that you need to spend to get all the daily rewards. But I'm personally, I think you don't have to do them all. That's the thing. You don't have to do them all. If you want to get the maximum, yes, I guess, but you don't have to do them all, and therefore I think it's actually okay if they would just keep it daily. I personally am always someone that enjoys having more daily rewards, because if you want to play for 8 hours straight, you can get the daily rewards. I'm not a big fan of stuff that is like always time gated, but maybe that's just me. You know, I would like to have daily raid rewards. I would like to have daily rewards for the EOD strike missions as well, stuff like that, so that I could play them if I wanted to do them. But I think for the Fractal Challenge mode, I can see why you would say that it's not good if they would continue to do so with all the fractals that they add, because at some point it gets out of hand. I can definitely see that. Yeah. Just remove CM and make it tier 5. Maybe that's one of the core features that they do. Maybe. I mean, that would be very interesting. That would be very interesting, to be honest. And that could be a way to make it very like unique and make it like maybe make it even infinitely scalable. That would be also very fun. I'm not sure if they have the capabilities of doing that, but it definitely looks like it would be a really cool feature that they could add as the core feature that they promised us to get. Yeah. Sometimes they can line up too. I have 3 CMs being T4 daily as well. I mean, that's really cool nowadays that you have so many CMs and you actually get like all the T4s done as well. That is true. I had like 2 I saw, but maybe I was like missing the day that it was the case. Really interesting, yeah. Let's go, let's go. So remove and CC and CC. Yes, very good, we did it. Do you think the daily raid rewards would make training runs more common? I'm not sure if training runs would be more common, but I think the LFG would be more alive. Because currently raids are not dead. Raids are just not as common. A lot of the players are actually playing raids in some kind of static. What? I got hit by this? Yeah, some kind of static. Or most of the tryhard players. But if you would add a daily reward that is worthwhile getting as a player, even if you did the daily already, yeah, that is not so good, my friends. That is a GG. And that's what you get for a 5K group. You know, it's very entertaining and very interesting. Very interesting. They just said, no, we will not spread, and that's why we died. Yeah, so I think if you would make a daily reward, people would be interested even after clearing with their static ones to pack after that, and that would be, in my opinion, very healthy for the pack scene and just the community as a whole, because people would then be interested to repeat the stuff that they already did and would not mind if they would get worse players with them, because they would just do a daily boss of Guardian or Gorseville or something, and people would have an easier time finding a group, and therefore new players would have the same possibilities. But I'm not sure if they want to do it. I really don't know how the economy looks like, if they would say, nah, that's too much liquid gold that we add this way. I really don't know what's the plan there, but I think that this would be a really amazing update for me as someone that enjoys doing instance content for sure. For sure. Content, yes. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't do instant CC. I will not do instant CC anymore. This is not working out. This is not working out. So far we did it, but this is not looking very promising with the CC. They just need to remove the limit on how many insights you can earn. I'm not sure. Do you really think that would fix it? Because I think a lot of people don't raid for the insights anymore. You know, if you are really interested in getting legendary armor, you would probably go for the open world or the PvP or world versus world one. I really don't think that people are really playing raids only for the insights anymore. I think people playing raids because they enjoy them or they want to get the gold. And I think the second part is not really given if you're not like some tryhard that is like able to do it in 1.5 hours or 2 hours. But maybe that's just my take, you know, I might be a little bit biased there. Maybe people are really crazy and really invest a lot of time in raids. Please, CC. There we go. Almost single CC'd the whole thing here. It's the greedy DPS players again. Worked out in the end, that's good enough for me. Sorry, I will catch up in chat in a second, I just don't want to kill the group here. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, my friends. And make the rewards not a one-time job. I think that would be very healthy. If they would increase the chances of getting ascended gear and stuff from raids, then people would actually play raids not only for the legendary and the money that it gives, but also make ascended gear drop quite commonly. But that would not incentivize veterans to actually play it, because like veterans like me have like insane amount of ascended gear lying around. So I think raids should also have some incentive for veterans, and I think LI and ascended stuff is not the way to go in my opinion there. I think just raw gold or value is worth it. Yeah, at 2 to 3k it's still not that easy. I think as soon as you reach 5k it gets better, then you find groups, but you have to look for your own groups and you find it easy, I would say. But yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with the daily rotating thing, Zephyrus. I think that would be really good if they would have a daily raid wing that is like giving you more rewards. That would be good. I agree. That would be amazing. If they wouldn't do it for each wing, but just one day, 1 week raid wing 1 day, I think that would be good as well. But I would even advocate going for full all raid wings, giving you daily raid rewards. Maybe some are even better than, like, for example, the fractals where you get Siren's Weave daily and you get more from this specific one. I think that would be really good. Time gating LI makes no sense, to be honest. You don't gain any player power from it. I think at this point the LI is really not that important. My biggest like take on LIs is like the people that play raids regularly have way too many of them, and the people that want them need their time to get them anyway. So I'm with you there. But so let's do the pre-stack here. Let's try to do it correctly this time. Wait for me, guys. Wait for me. They're never waiting for me. Now I don't have enough stability. At least they have now boons forever. So I guess I do the 66 if no one else does it. I have to remember that I'm the person that needs to do the portal. Really don't think it would affect the economy much? Yeah, I think you are right there, but they are really scared of making the economy change a little bit, even if it's just minimal, because they are really like scared that raids will be like insanely like lucrative and everyone will do it, and then it will be, oh my god, we lost our reaper. Yeah, I think they are really scared of that, but I'm with you there. I think it's actually not that likely. Oh my god, the portal was almost too early. Yeah, Shroud 2 is not that... I wouldn't recommend using Shroud 2 on the islands, to be honest. You will sometimes die. That's not healthy for your character. Yeah. It would make the new players do raids more. Yeah, I agree. That would be good. I mean, you don't want to overdo it, because then you only have new players that want to go in for the rewards. You also want to have players that actually want to play the game mode because they enjoy raiding. But I think if the rewards are finely tuned and everyone wants to get in for the rewards and the fun, that would be very healthy for the community. Cosmetics are usually good in games to incentivize stuff, but not for Guild Wars 2. I'm not sure. I think Guild Wars 2 is like very sandboxy and you really want to get people into stuff with having unique cosmetics. But at the same time, a lot of cosmetics are not enough for people to get them into raids. You know, there are some crazy infusions that you can get, for example, from, how is it called? From the EOD strike missions and the CMs and stuff. But it's in my opinion not always enough to get people interested in those, because it's quite challenging still for them to get into that content. So yeah, that's what you get, you know, dying so many people if you like don't let me do the real. This is completely useless. I wanted to get some more stability up, so that's a little bit mean, guys. You couldn't wait for me. That's why you don't have any stability now. Yeah. Yeah, next time wait for me, guys. You know, wiping on this one. The classic experience. I have to be honest, I never saw that attack on this boss. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. If they don't let me swap my utility skills, then they will not get enough stability and then they fall down. That's just the punishment. I wouldn't recommend Shroud 2. It's a full sentence. Yeah, I agree. Actually, Shroud 2 in Guild Wars 2 for Reaper is like a skill in all game modes that is like, yeah, what can I say? It has some big disadvantages, yeah, in any game modes. I played PvP on Reaper a lot, and every time I play it, I feel like just don't use the Shroud 2 if you want to hit a target. You know, it's like it's so unpredictable how the movement is. It feels at this point it's like you will only use it for mobility. You will not use it to use anything targeted. It's so bad. It's such a bad skill for that matter. I don't even know if that's intentional of them, that they gave us that as some kind of like disadvantage of the skill, so that you have some disadvantages in the kit, but it feels so bad. It feels so bad. Welcome, Matkion. Welcome. Yes, fellow partner. Nice, very good. You made it as well. That's what we want. More partners, more power to us. Very good. Don't forget to enter the giveaway if you want to have some chance of winning 50 gold. We have more giveaways going on as well. On my YouTube channel, for the example, we have a giveaway for 2 times 500 gold as well to celebrate the partnership. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. Nobody jumps the wave in the platform? Yeah, exactly, because you expect to have stability permanently. That's why, for example, the Druid struggles so much here, because you can't keep up the stability here. And people are just like, huh, you can jump this and you will not get knocked back. I did not know that, you know. It's just always flame the healer if you do something wrong here. It's fine, it's fine. I'm aware of the situation. I give stability, I hope, in the reasonable amount of time all the time. But if you are playing another support, that might be a little bit challenging. Same goes, for example, for quickness heal catalyst. I think that one struggles here as well, because you don't have enough stability, frequent stability access, yeah. There we go, we finally did it. Welcome, Elias. I'm very excited about the Firefox. I'm very excited about it, to be honest. I hope they fix summons disappearing after mounting Elementalist. Yeah, I think that in general should be fixed, not only for Elementalist. I think the summoning and mounting is always annoying, so I really hope they will do that. They increased the damage a while ago to make it useful as a damage skill, therefore I doubt the problems are a choice. Yeah, that could be true actually, I agree, that could be true. Yeah, exactly. In SC they say you can skip the Shroud 2 for almost no DPS loss, and I would actually recommend like 99% of the cases to just do that, because like getting 100 more DPS is not worth it to maybe die in like some situations, you know. Better be safe than sorry, in my opinion. Forced movement skills are a downside in the game, and especially if they are like that buggy, or not buggy, but clunky to use, I would say. So I would definitely say Serious is right here. Just skip the Shroud 2 and just do an auto deck chain. No. Subscribers on Twitch. On Twitch. So if you have subscribed on Twitch, you actually get 3 times the luck. That means that you just get a little bit higher chance of winning, but it's obviously not completely rigged. You see, I think in my whole time as giveaways, I think no subscriber won yet. So I'm sorry for you if you subscribe for that. But apparently, even though you have higher winning chance, you are still not lucky enough to actually win. So maybe this will change with this one. But yeah. I'm kind of hyped for the Ranger Pigeon Master. I'm actually not sure how the Ranger one will look like. If it's really a Pigeon Master or if that's just one attack that is like looking like that. If the whole spec is favored around like birds, I have no clue. Could be a falconer, whatever it could be. I think it will be interesting, and I really hope that it's something that players will enjoy. I'm not a big like Ranger player myself. I play it, of course. I play all classes, but I don't like play it like all the time. So I'm not someone that actually can like say, this is the only thing that we want and need. So we will have to see how it plays out in the end. We lost a lot of DPS here. There we go. What? Why did... Moa is so slow without quickness. So sad. The ultimate will be stealing people's food. Maybe. I really don't know if that's the whole spec or if it's just one attack. You know, they could completely mislead us and say this is one attack only. And we expected the whole spec being like completely around that. Could be some kind of pack ranger where you summon even more pets, you know, just for a bit, like a summoner for ranger pets. I could see that as well. And then you would not have the pigeons as the whole spec, but that would be just one attack. And then you could, I don't know, summon a bear, you could summon a tiger in a specific attack. I can see that as well. Does that mean it will happen? No, not at all. But it's just my, yeah, I don't know, prediction for them, for the thing that could happen. My ranger has an important job, standing in POF jumping puzzle with 3 chests. Yeah, the daily jumping puzzles. Yeah, I have some character there as well. So hopefully your ranger will get dedusted after the new elite specs come out. Maybe it's like the chance to get back into ranger. Hey Summer, how do you doing? I'm doing well, Beowulf. Hope you're doing well as well. Do you plan to make any videos on Celestial Mesmer builds for open world soon? So I actually have 2 Celestial builds already. I was just thinking about, yes, I have a Chronomancer build and I have a Mirage build on Celestial. Oh my god, that hurt. That hurt even more, guys. Oh, that's a classic, like, you know, I'm not sure. I don't show. You know, someone just did the GG wrong. That's okay. That happens. happens. Yeah, but I have already 2 Celestial guides and they are still up to date. You can check out my open world Chronomancer guide and you can check out my open world Mirage guide, and both of them can use Celestial very well and are really, really strong. I would say even S tier builds in my recent open world tier list. So there is that. I'm from Germany. That's where I'm from. That's why my accent sounds a bit weird, I guess. I'm trying to improve. But yeah, my pronunciation might not be the best. So please bear with me. So hopefully the DPS is good this time. They're doing the secret BS so that people make it more invested in the game. I really don't know. I really don't know. Mirage is so fun in open world content. Yeah, I think Mirage is one of the most fun specs to play in open world. I really like Mirage. I think it's really nice that they did the rework, and I think the rework is really, really good. I mean, it speaks for itself if you can do a benchmark of 52k DPS, but also I think it's quite fun to play. It's enabling you to play so many different ways. It's really nice. I really like the rework. I think that's how rework should be, to make all the specs very interesting. Yeah, I hope we get more of those. I have not been to the Netherlands yet. Would you recommend to go there, you know? Seeing some nice sightseeing there and just interacting with the very interesting and very like close to German, yeah, cities. Yeah, very interesting. Next time, use the bomb. The bomb is painful. Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a challenge in this group to get all the mechanics correctly all the time. Just imagine you have to play now Nova days without quickness. Every ability takes 7 business days. Yeah, I think quickness is like, especially if I play PvE, I expect to have quickness, and that's so painful if I don't. So I feel really like I'm like addicted to quickness, you know, that's the whole thing, to be honest. Doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. Just avoid the center of Amsterdam. Okay, I will remember that if I will get to visit the Netherlands at some point. Really hope I do, I know. So let's get this fractal done and without any more deaths, hopefully, please, guys. Concentrate. Talking to myself here, of course, you know. Not reading chat, just fixating on the gameplay. Interesting, interesting. I mean, sounds like a cool place to be then, you know. Just push it. Yes, very good. I'm played for the whole 12 years since the release, mostly all legendary again, never touched raids. Excited to see what happens with the update. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the update might bring people into raids that never were interested in playing raids before. So I think overall that's a big plus if they will push it out correctly. If it's just like making one currency for all of those game modes, I think that would be too little. But if it's like really making it very easy to get into the raids, making it a little bit less annoying to do, for example, Gorseval, because you would have to find an opener. If that would not be the case anymore, that you could go in and say, I want to fight Gorseval now. And then you click on a UI button and then it opens. I think that would be amazing. So I really hope that will be the case. But I have really no clue if that will happen or if it's like what they have on mind there. I really don't know. Quick is for me the most important buff. It makes playing more fun. I agree. Especially in PvE, but even in competitive modes, I think quickness is such a fun buff if you play a DPS spec, you know, playing Willbender in PvP and you get quickness from your support. Just for 2 seconds. It feels amazing. It's like you are like on drugs, on like some kind of like superpowers. It's insane. It feels so great. And I think that's how it should be. And to be honest, that's also how it should have been in PvE. But they did not design the game around that anymore. You have to have it permanently. And then it's obviously a little bit less interesting. But if it would be a buff where you feel like super sane, then that would be like, in my opinion, the best way to approach quickness. But they can't go back on that anymore. That's the sad truth here. Yeah, we're missing one, that's true. I mean, we can do some waiting, I guess. If you like theme parks, Netherlands has one of the best one in the world. That's interesting. Yeah, I like theme park. Very interesting. I will check it out. Thanks for the tips. Really appreciate it. Amsterdam has great restaurants though, but you gotta avoid the tourist traps. Yeah, I think if you go to all the tourist stuff, you are like in a big crowd of people that are actually not really from there, and you have a completely different experience than if you would go to the places where the natives live. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's why I love Reaper. We got no Fury, no Might, no Quickness, don't care. Yeah, I think Reaper is one of the best selfish specs because it can provide so many buffs to itself. It's really good. And that's why I like to recommend Reaper to new players as well, because if you're a new player, you often play with other people that are not as experienced. So you can't expect your supporter to have permanent 25 might, permanent fury, permanent quickness. There will be some drops sometimes, and if you play a Reaper, you can cover this, no questions asked. So I think that's obviously really good there. But I think a lot of classes nowadays have that actually. For example, if you play Berserker, has some quickness access on its own. You have some nice access on Alacrity on Chronomancer, for example, if you play DPS and stuff like that. So there are many ways nowadays that classes can do that, but Reaper is still the king of self-buffing, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the raid community, I think the problem is that the raid community is just too small for the most part. I think it would be even better if we had more people engaging with raids. No questions asked. I think that is the only important thing to say about raids. If more people would play raids, raid would be even better than they already are. I think raids in Guild Wars 2 are really fun, are really cool designed encounters for the most part, and I really hope that more people engage with it with the upcoming changes to it. I really hope so. Because that's for me one of the things that is like keeping me from doing more raid content, is because not a lot of people are actually interested in it, and that's a little bit sad. I like to do them, but only if I find people that actually want to do it with me. And if I can't find enough people in pugs, then I just don't do them, because that's what I do the most, pugging. I don't do static stuff nowadays anymore. I did back then, but now I don't do it anymore. I do more content creation, and on stream it's also better to not have a static than just having some interesting pugging going on, you know? Having like crazy experiences in pugs is probably way more entertaining to watch than having some kind of static that does everything perfect and is just like a little bit boring at some point. So, you know, the chaotic static or the chaotic pugging is always something fun to watch on my stream. Why is Thief play rate so low? Picking up Thief with staff feels so good. I think it's like people... I think Thief has some kind of stigma to it. That's the sad part. I think a lot of people don't really see Thief anymore as a good spec, even though it's a really good spec and really fun. I think a lot of people that played the game back in the early days like decided to not play Thief, and they don't come back to it, even though Thief is really, really cool and unique nowadays. But I don't know. I really don't know. I personally play Thief actually quite a lot nowadays with the Spectre changes, but I mean, I really don't know. It's the same for Revenant. I think Revenant is one of the most unique classes, but it's the least played spec of. I think Thief is higher than Revenant, and the reason for that is because Revenant came out the last, and that's just a lot of people already had their main when it came out. That's just sad that this is the case, but I guess that's how it goes if you release a class after all the other ones. Sad truth there, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Completely true. I forgot. Harbinger is amazing as well. Harbinger is amazing as well. But might not be like the easiest to play because you don't have the Shroud. So Harbinger is really good in self-buffing, whereas Reaper is also really good and is tanky as well. So both of them are really good. I'm on EU. I'm on EU. Yeah, Thief is really underrated in PvE. I agree. It's really underrated. I think Spear Thief could have potential in some build. Yeah, Spear is really nice. A lot of people... It's not the easiest to play, but it's really, really strong. I can highly recommend it. Yeah. Yeah, I think Harbinger is not for everyone. I think a lot of Necromancer enjoyers like the idea of a Reaper. I'm not sure if Harbinger is like the thing that a lot of Necromancers would say is the most like... I don't know, Necromancer feeling thing, but I personally think Harbinger is a fun spec, but that's just my opinion, yeah. I play Revenant, so I don't need a target for quickness. That is a fair, very fair point, actually. I think that's very fair, and I think it's... Herald for quickness is not the best DPS, but it's such a safe choice for it. I think it's actually really, really good. Can play on NA now as well, I guess, now that you are a partner. That is true. I'm on EU just now because obviously it's way more active. They are in a very early morning right now. So playing now is probably better to play on EU, but I can swap. I think, I'm not sure. I have to check if I actually got the partner privileges already on my account or if they have to unlock that first. Did not check yet. But yeah, that's true. I can also play on some NA stuff in the future. Yeah, that's good point. Good point by the chat. Let's go. The combo potential between the first 3 attacks, just knowing which order for when the single target damage can be great. Yeah, I think the idea of the spear on Thief is amazing. It's really, really good. I think the problem is that it is not the easiest to learn. It's not like very straightforward compared to any like other Thief. Like, for example, if you play Dagger on a Condi Thief, you spam the Dagger 3. So very straightforward. And on Spear, you have to play your combo things. So if you are someone that actually wants to play something easy, you would probably go for Dagger and not Spear. So I think that is what keeps holding some people back, even though it's really cool design of the Spear. I think it's probably one of the most unique spear that we got. And that's cool. I really liked it. I want to have more unique weapons. Of course, if you have a really challenging weapon to get into, that's always a little bit of a downturner for some people. But for others, it's like a big plus. So it always depends who you asked, I guess. I like both decisions. Not every weapon has to be crazy hard to play, but if it's unique enough, I would enjoy it for sure. It feels more interactive. I think it's easier than a lot of elite specs. Professional abilities? Yeah, that might be actually true. I agree. That might be true. Let's go. We have already all the boons. Yeah, Quickness Herald is like very easy if you want to upkeep the boons, if you want to play it safe. Herald is like amazing. It's one of the best specs to play if you want to do that. If you wouldn't pick it for DPS, you really would not. That is the only thing that Herald is not the king in, is DPS. But if you want to have crazy good boon uptime, just very safe boon uptime, and even stability access, it's really good for quickness DPS. I would not recommend playing a Heal Herald. Heal Herald is like a little bit outclassed nowadays. Hopefully we get some buffs to it. Or the new elite spec for Revenant will be providing some kind of buffs to healing. But I really think quickness DPS Herald is really good. And I would also not play a DPS Herald, to be honest. DPS Herald is a meme. You just have a little bit more DPS, but you don't provide any quickness. So I would go for quickness DPS Herald. That's the thing that I would play in PvE. Either Power or Condi. Both of them are really good. In terms of boon output and also in ease of use. Yeah. So let's concentrate to not die. I can't catch up on chat here. I just want to make sure that my party is not dying. I'm not dying. I find the 2-3 combo on Spear confusing. Yeah, I actually agree with you. Spear is not easy to get into, and I've played the game for over 12 years at this point. Yes, I actually understand it completely, but that doesn't at least in my opinion, it should not stop you from playing the Spear if you like the design of it, because you will get into it at some point. You just have to spend some time, be patient, and you will learn it. I think that's my biggest advice I can give to anyone, is just spending some time with the spec you enjoy, and you will probably have a good time at some point. Just have to give it a little bit of time to learn it. Not all specs are learned in the first minute. Probably most of them are not. Just have to invest some time to learn it. Yeah. Very good. And after this we will do the Kinfall. I'm really hyped for the Kinfall fractal as well. I want to see if it's challenging or not, even with a low KP group. I actually don't expect it, to be honest. I think the most challenging part for me is that my party is always ignoring the wisps that steal your lights. So I really hope that we will this time have someone actually taking care of that. Not only me, because I have some CC of course, but at some point I run out. The speed on Spear is the problem for me, recognizing the images and deciding which one to pick while queuing the next. Yeah, I can see that, It's very fast-paced. Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, I don't know how to fix that, to be honest. I really don't. Catalyst does about the same as Herald, but with slightly less boon uptime. You mean DPS Herald and Quickness DPS Catalyst? Because Quickness DPS Catalyst is insane DPS, while Quickness DPS Herald is like very low DPS. So I'm not sure which build you are comparing there, Godboard, but I think Herald is very low on the DPS side. Challenge mode? So CC, we need CC, we need CC. No, not this one. There we go. No, I mean, you're right, of course, Loopy. Of course, you're right. 5k is only low compared to the stuff that I usually do. Because usually I just join any group that comes up that is like somewhat experienced, and on a U they are asking for crazy amounts of KP, like 10k, 30k. Some people ask for 100k. It's insane how much KP they ask for. But 5k is somewhat low, and that means that we might have some people that are not as experienced, and it can be quite chaotic. You saw that this was not the cleanest run that we had here on stream. It's not a problem. I'm just saying a lot of times when you join lower KP groups, it's a little bit less like routine how they do it. That's completely fine. But yeah, of course you're right that you will have lower KP if you are just starting out your Fractal CM journey, that is. Yeah. But you will get there. You just have to take your time, find people, like-minded people to play it with, and you will get there. Imagine Elementalist spec like Viva, especially in Fractals, it's super hard to master. I think if you like Viva, you can do it. And compare that to a Viva, yes, you are completely right. In Fractals, it's way harder to master, but it's not undoable. I know people for a fact that play Viva in Fractals under like out DPSing like anyone that I meet in PUCs, always. So it's like you just have to spend some time to actually get it done and learn the encounters and the rotation on this specific build. You will get there, but it takes some time, of course, yeah. I would like to ask about PvP. In a lot of games, I'm able to at least kind of predict my enemies, but in Guild Wars 2 I have a feeling I have no clue what they are doing and when. Any tips? Just learn all the classes. I mean, that can be one way to do it, but I know a lot of people in PvP that are really good that mostly played one class, so you will just have to play more. That's really like the thing, how to get better at PvP is just to try to stick to one build and try to improve at understanding what you are fighting against, how you can deal with it, and you will get there in the end, but it is very time consuming. Getting really good at PvP takes time, and there is no speed up way. You really have to understand how the other classes work. Of course, you can speed it up by just looking at other classes' builds and understanding how they work, try it out for yourself, and then you know how to fight them. But in general, PvP is not something that I would recommend to say, oh, I will go in and after 1 hour I know how to play it. No, this will not be the case. It's something that takes very long time to master, and I think there is no player in Guild Wars 2 that actually plays it perfectly. That's just too hard to play. It's a very, very challenging game for that matter. Which is good, you know, I liked it about PvP. I liked it about PvP, yeah. How do you catch up with the KP for PvE? My advice would probably be creating groups on your own and just be patient, because you can't speed it up too much if you don't have a guild or a static to do it with. That's the sad truth. You have to play it safe and create your own groups and just be patient. I can't give you any better advice than that, to be honest. That's the sad part here. Getting into Fractal CMs is one of the hardest challenges in the whole game. It's probably harder than a lot of challenge modes themselves. Just getting into groups that actually want to do the CMs with you, even if you have little experience. That's really sad. I really hope they improve that in the future. I don't know how, but they should. Yeah, exactly. You get 40 to 41k as a quickness DPS catalyst. It's insane. It's really, really good. So let's go. Yeah, we will just do the normal CCing, I guess. Just the normal thing. So this time, watch where it goes. This is like a lot of AO visual clutter, I have to be honest. It's crazy. That's the only criticism I have of this fight, that it's so much visual clutter. I think it should be a little bit less, like, the telegraphing should be, I don't know, a little bit less bright or something. I really don't know how they should do it correctly. But it feels like way too much like on the screen that is bright and glowing and stuff. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a little bit like too much in the dark, I guess. So let's see how much CC and stuff we get in a second. How much barrier the boss gets. No barrier yet. Maybe it takes a while to come up. There it is, yes. So you have a little bit of time to get the thing up, and then you CC. I guess you can still cheese like 10%, maybe 20 if you have a decent DPS group. So it's high, but it's not insane high of barrier that you can not use anymore. I think this is how it should be. This is like you need to CC it, but not like instantly, and you can get some of the encounter trivialized by not CCing instantly. I think that's good. Just have to keep track of the attacks and can't read chat. Sorry guys, we'll catch up in a second. And then we will also draw the giveaway winner. So don't forget to enter. ! Enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. 50 gold down the line. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. And we will draw the winner, I guess, after this fractal. Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to find your own groups in the pugging scene. You know, just create your own groups in LFG. That is probably the best way to do it. To find groups that are willing to do it with you. But of course, you have to be patient not only in finding people to do it with, but also in terms of content, how long it takes to complete it. Because it's just like, you will not be able to clear it very fast if you don't have experienced people around you. Oh my god, what happened there? What? Just got one shot. Crazy. I mean, I did not go down, but still. Crazy DPS of the boss. There we go. I think there will be one more CC. There we go. Nice. Yeah, it's a good fractal. What can I say? I like it. At least the end boss is fun. Yeah, very good. Seems like a healer issue? Yeah, exactly. It's a healer issue, for sure. Okay, it's time. It's over. Let's go for the drawing of the giveaway winner. So good luck to everyone. Let's see who it is. And the winner is Filthy. Congrats to you. Congrats to you. Hopefully you're still here. You won. Rigged. It doesn't matter who wins. It's always rigged. Nice, nice, nice. Reroll. No. No, I mean, you did very well, Snowdrop. Don't worry. You did very well. So, Filthy gets it. Very good. One of our moderators won. I mean, that's just how it goes. Sometimes the moderators are lucky. Uber rigged, yeah. Don't worry, we will do another one. Don't worry, we will do another one. And you have another chance of winning. So, that's good. 20% win chance. I mean, we never had a mod one before, and we also did not have any subscribers win yet, as far as I know. So, yeah, I think this is the first time that someone actually won that has a special role on my channel. So there's that. So let's send it to Filthy. I'm not sure if he's still here, but congrats, Filthy. And I will set up the next giveaway. Give me a second. Oh, that's just role playing anyway here. And don't worry, we have another chance of drawing a winner. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go, that's what I wanted. Yeah. There we go, next giveaway is up, ! Enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. Moderators don't get any extra luck, so don't worry about that. And good luck to everyone. Yeah, Snowdrop, you're the only moderator for now in the chat that is actually not having won a giveaway yet. Sorry for that. That is true. So, I mean, this is like a good fractal to read chat, I would say. I have a section on my Discord server where it's about training. So you can check that one out if you want to get a Fractal CM training or something, or want to find like-minded people. You can just ask in trainings chat. If you like want to have a specific like dedicated LFG channel on my Discord, you can just ask me and I can do that as well. I'm not sure how many people would join that or would be willing to see that, but I'm always up for improvements as well for my Discord channel and stuff. So please just let me know how you want to implement it and I can do that for sure. Always interested to improve, you know, not only my content, but also my community. So just let me know. No, don't die on me here. Welcome, Iron Maiden. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thanks. Congrats. I was really happy to making the partner. Thanks for showing up to the stream. Really nice. Guys, be sure to check out the stream as well. Mods get other benefits, being sent gold without being online. Yeah, I mean, that was like, I had to do it. You know, someone that was like there since beginning of my stream, I had to give that even if the person was not there anymore. You know, that's just fairness at this point. But I know. It's not like I wouldn't do it if it would be a usual viewer. I know. But you know, what can I say? Some really old school people that are here since I started my stream, that's just, you have to reward that at some point. And don't worry, you have another chance of winning as well. Giveaway is still ongoing, so don't miss out on that. Yeah, I was actually watching your Virtuoso video yesterday, and then today I saw you got partner. I mean, that's perfect, you know, watching my content even without being, so to say, like pushed towards it. So that's really good. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I have a lot of nice content coming up as well, but I'm really like always looking forward to any feedback. So if you have, as a veteran content creator, have some feedback there, always let me know as well. Especially when it comes to Guild Wars 2 partner content, yeah. There we go. Everyone, all the partners already in chat here. That's what we like. Very good. I really am proud to being part of the partner program because so many great people got accepted now. And I think that's really nice of ArenaNet to make so many nice new faces, put them in their partner program. I think that's one of the biggest ways to increase the just general awareness of the game, how good it is and how good the new upcoming content will be. I think that is this amazing way to do that. So I'm really happy that they did that. And I hope we see way more interactions with the partners between each other, but also with ANET. I think that's amazing and hope we'll get more of that stuff, especially when the expansion launches. I'm really looking forward to that, and you might see that I'm quite hyped not only about the partnership, but also about the expansion coming up. So yeah, what can I say? It's just great times to be a Guild Wars 2 content creator, I guess. Yeah. Part of the Guild Wars 2 slop. I guess. I have to be honest, I'm not one of the guys that is doing crazy amounts of slop. I'm more one of the people that likes to be very concise, but of course I can't hold myself back in the speculation of the elite specs and stuff. You know, that would be very sick. Thanks for Ain for the follow. Really appreciate it. But I appreciate all the follows, by the way. Really appreciate it as well. I always enjoy your YouTube videos. That's good to know. Very good to know. And I try my best, of course. If you have any really cool feedback, I'm always happy to hear that as well. And I'm always up for some, how is it called? Collaboration with other content creators. So if you're looking for something, some debates and stuff, I'm always open to join there as well. Just let me know ahead of time so I can adjust my schedule accordingly. But I'm looking forward to find more space in the Guild Wars 2 community as some kind of debate or just in general talking to each other. I think that is always helpful. And yeah, I really am proud to be a part of this nice community. I think streamers, YouTubers are the best advertisement for your game. I agree. I think if you have a really big content creation scene for your game, you don't even need to market the game anymore that much because the content creators do that for you in a way more natural way than you would be able to do with trailers and just in general ads. So I think that's what they are going for now, and I really hope it pays off with the next expansion. I really do. And I will try to take my part in that thing as well, of course. You know, am I doing the spider killing here, I guess, as the healer? Okay. There we go. I saw you online yesterday when I woke up, and as soon as I joined, you said goodnight. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just sometimes my schedule is a little bit scuffed for people that are not having the same schedule as I do, especially if you're on an A. That might be a really like not that good. But what can I say? I'm after all living on a U, and I can't do like the crazy streaming hours for now that, for example, Lara and Teapot can do for 15 hours straight or something. That's just too much. I can't go the whole night. That's the sad truth, sadly. Maybe in the future, but not right now. I'm really like, I wouldn't say envious, but I'm really like, I respect them madly for being able to do such stuff. It's crazy. Yeah. Get ready for another underwater fractal. I really doubt it, to be honest. I think there will be some content coming with the maps that is underwater, but I don't think we will get any map, any content like the fractal or the raid or convergences that will have underwater content as some kind of key mechanic of the encounter. I don't see that. That's just not what they currently like want to focus on their development. I don't really see that, because I feel like the land combat is amazing, and why would you go somewhere where the underwater combat is good, don't get me wrong, but the land combat is better. So why would you go some like encounter and say, nah, let's make it a little bit worse by going underwater just for the flavor? I think that's not a healthy way of doing it. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I think the land combat is so good, but I really don't think they should do that. I think having some kind of part of the open world map that has underwater content, that is good, but making it so that a whole fractal, a whole raid boss or something is underwater, that is too much, I think. That is just too much. I really don't see that happening. I'm looking forward to your Troubadour builds when the Troubadour comes out. I agree. I will be going crazy, not only on the Troubadour, but all the builds, because it will be amazing for build crafting. You know, the weapons were great and all. I like to have spear builds and stuff, but they were not really like a lot of gameplay, cooking stream and theory crafting streams really possible. You know, you choose the spear on Chronomancer, for example, because it's a good damage option. But Troubadour might enable builds that are like absolutely insane, where you would say, I never saw that one coming. So I'm really looking forward to all the lead specs and just having more theory crafting for the builds coming up. For all game modes, that is. So I'm really hyped about that. That's why elite specs are so much better in that sense than the weapons, even without getting a weapon for the elite spec. So I'm really positive that they went back to their old like elite spec design and not stick with only giving us new weapons. I really think so. The problem with underwater combat is the balancing. If they push it, they have to balance it again. Yeah. I mean, underwater combat is so weird, to be honest, in Guild Wars 2. Some skills are just not used. You can't use them at all. For example, if you have some ground targeting, sometimes they are not able to be used at all. And then you have some skills that are absolutely broken. And then you have some skills that are not like good at all. They are just really, really bad. And this is just, they didn't balance it, and they will not balance it, in my opinion, if there is not a crazy good like, oh no, I will not, oh no. No. We have a Reaper. I will not CS my Temple Curtain. I always fail to do that. Yes, we have a Reaper. I just waited for the Spectral Grasp. That's good. That's good enough. Just have to use it once. The second one, I think you can't pull all of them with Temple Curtain. They are always spawning too far away. At least I got 4 of them. The trailer kind of hinted Beach Island expansion, so there might be underwater stuff. Yeah, I agree. There might be some part of the map that will be underwater. But it will probably be not a huge amount of it. I think that would be a waste of the map, to be honest. I think they want to sell the skimmer or make it better, and therefore there will be some water to make the skimmer useful. But I think it will not be like, oh, you have the full map being water. That is like something that they never did in the core game, and that was like way more focused on underwater stuff than the expansions. So I really don't see it, to be honest. But you never know, you know, ANET has some crazy ideas. Maybe the combat that they push out with the new expansion, maybe the underwater combat is insane. They have some crazy reworks coming up, and we will all love it. Could also be the case. I really have no clue what's coming up. I'm just hyped about it. Yeah. I think the underwater combat will be limited to the skimmer, like the sky combat. Yeah, I agree. That's quite likely. Yeah. The real problem of underwater combat is that it's so different, not in a good way. If you would be able to use terrestrial weapon underwater, it would be way better. Yeah, but then what's the point of going underwater anyway if you could use the same weapons? You know, I feel like it has to be different, and I agree it's not better, and that's why people don't like it too much. But if it would be the same, then why would you go underwater anyway? It's just the difference is that you have a 3-dimensional movement rather than a 2-dimensional one. I'm not so sure, to be honest, if there is a way to fix underwater combat in a way that is somewhat easily doable as the developers, while also being somewhat like reasonable with how well it performs after that. I really don't know. Maybe they come up with something, but I don't see it, to be honest. I think they will just leave it like it is for the most part. Yeah, I think the skimmer, you will probably be happy if you did all the skimmer mastery before the next expansion. I'm pretty sure about that. Because the skimmer will probably be like empowered if you have all the masteries. And I think it should be probably quite likely for you to get it beforehand, just so that you don't have to go back to Path of Fire maps. I think that's something that you can get out of your way before. And will have an easier time then and can enjoy the expansion. Yeah. Mesmer has a skill with unlimited range underwater for years. Now, I don't think they will fix it. Yeah, I think there are so many weird things underwater that it's like some skills are like, I think one of the best examples is this, I think it's the 5th skill. I'm not sure if it's on Spear or if it's on Trident, on Necromancer. This like icy blizzard thing that has a huge cast time. But this skill hits so hard on Berserker. This is like, if you have no might, no quickness, it hits like for 15k or something, or even higher. If you have might and everything, that is like a skill that hits for insane amounts of like numbers. It's just some skills are like crazy in terms of damage. And some skills are like, you can't even use them. So it's just, yeah, it's just crazy. So let's go for some Cold War action. Yeah, that's true. The splash screen of the end has some land and water, but that's also just fitting to, what would I say, fitting to some kind of tropical island. You know, an island is always in some kind of water, so I think that could also just be like the theme of it. Maybe it's just that, yeah. Just speculating and hoping I'm wrong, I guess, yeah. I guess. And then there's Engineer that basically just tosses grenades. Maybe, yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe Engineer gets some interesting underwater skills as well, but I don't know. We will see. Scrapper Harpoon 2 hits for like 80k plus if all shots hit. Yeah, sometimes it's so crazy. I think they just abandoned the balancing of those underwater skills. I also think, for example, the Mesmer underwater skills, there is one of them. Which, this one? Is it? No, which one of those two? Knocks you back. Yeah, this one. And the knockback is so annoying. It's insane. It's so crazy because the knockback of this skill can get you in a rock. You know, you can get knocked back in the wall. So this is just very buggy. That's why I always use the spear. The spear is so much better underwater than this trident. The trident is so weird. And it's also it's very much like, I don't know, it feels like a troubadour underwater because it already exists and has some notes on there. So it's really weird. Yeah. Yeah, Cold War gaming. Yeah, it's for the daily, you know. That's what we need to do, and for the weekly as well. That was nice. That is true. That was really good. That was good content, Snowdrop. You know, Snowdrop had to GG, and because he activated the caps lock, he typed 7 GG in caps, and it was like not working, obviously, and we all almost died. It was really good. Good content. I agree. I will do quick DPS then, I hope. I want to get some DPS carrying. I was on my heal Alacrity, Scourge, and Aquatic the other day. Had to realize that I really miss staff skills. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's so weird about underwater combat. You have some traits that are just like, they don't work. They're just not giving you any value. So I think underwater is just a relic of the past. I don't see them ever updating it. It's too much work. I really don't see that. Yeah. I would love a meta event that could be like water theme parks. Some parts of the meta you go underwater, then you go terrain. Very fast paced with water slides. That would be amazing. I think that would actually be such a cool thing. I would really like that. I would really like that. I think that could actually be happening. That would sell the swimsuits even more in Gem Store, I guess. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, don't forget to enter the giveaway, guys. Exclamation mark enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. 50 gold down the line. So don't forget to enter that. We will draw the winner after the Cold War instance. Glyph of Bounty works with Shadow Fruits. As far as I know, I'm not sure. I think it might work, yeah. But I did not test it, to be honest. I'm not a big gatherer, you know. Yeah, mechanists can't use the mech underwater. It's like the whole pet is not there. It feels so bad. It's so bad. No, I did the EOD on Soto strikes. I don't want to do them again. So that's the sad part, you know. There is no incentive to do them ever again because the daily is just not worth it. So that's why I just do them once a week. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can't use renegade abilities underwater. You can't use the mech. It's just some abilities are like, we don't want to design a new skill there. So just remove it. That's really sad. It's really sad. They had to fix that if they want to make more underwater content. Which do you think is better, Minstrel Scourge or Harrier Firebrand for PvE World vs. World? For World vs. World, definitely Minstrel Scourge, 100%, and therefore you would also play it in PvE. If you only play PvE, I would say Harrier Firebrand is also really good, but I would say if you want to play both game modes with the same gear on the same character, Minstrel Scourge is probably the way to go. Because that works really well in a Zerg, and it works really well in any scenario in PvE where you are not want to tank. As soon as you want to tank and as soon as you don't want to tank and you want to play Minstrel, that's not working. But if you want to be the tank, it's completely fine as well. I would say in 90% of the cases you can easily run Minstrel Scourge in like every content. Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's so bad. It's so bad. The renegade skills and the mechanist is just like, no. No, you can't use the spec here. It's just, okay, I guess I will not play underwater then. Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, you can have some stability on Tempest. So Tempest gets stability if you have the Earth trade line, if you swap to Earth. And you can use Staff if you really wanted to for more stability. But the most like aggressive stability providing that you have is swapping to Earth, while also giving stability with Rebound or giving stability with Eye of the Storm. But Eye of the Storm is only 1 stack of stability, so that's not that crazy. I'm with you that the stability output is not competing with a Chronomancer, but it is there. You can do it if you play it correctly. It's just not as easily accessible as for Chronomancer. Totally fair criticism. Yeah. Every single Renegade utility is a ground AoE and they're all grayed out. It's annoyingly hilarious. Yeah, it's so weird that they didn't just say you can't use this elite or how's it called, legend underwater. No, they made it possible, but then you can't use them. You know, it's you can equip them, but you can't use them. So, what? Why did they do it like that? But I guess it's like just too hard to make it possible to use it, I guess. I don't know. Really weird. All I went for engineers underwater flamethrower. Yeah, it's the same for flamethrower. Why not make it possible to work there? I mean, it makes sense that it's like weird with a flamethrower underwater. Yeah, I know. So physical things, yeah, limitation, yeah. But I mean, you could still make it a blowtorch or something that works underwater as well. I really don't know what's the problem there. So let's check. Yes, quickness, very good. I added you to the partner program wiki, included your YouTube and Twitch links. Thanks a lot, Cyan. Really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. I just think it would be funny. Yeah, I agree. It would be funny. It would be very funny. But I mean, they typically don't do stuff that is only like for memes and kicks and giggles. I think it's more like they really want to, if they add some stuff, they want to get some gameplay out of that as well. And I'm not sure if the underwater stuff that is currently not that good or not working at all, if they will ever change that, because like probably the amount of people that use that regularly is like very, very low. And I'm not sure if it's worth the development effort to do that. I think all ground AoEs should just be autocast on your target. Would be clunky, but it would be better. Yeah, I agree. I think maybe make some healing skills or something always cast on you and not on the target, because why would you cast your healing skill on your target? But I agree. That should be like the band-aid fix, to be honest. Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure why they didn't do that, to be honest, because that's something that I would say is probably like not too hard to implement. Maybe I missed something. Maybe, obviously, I'm not a developer, so I can't tell you how hard to implement that is. But I think that would be my band-aid fix, to at least make it somewhat playable and not make it like Renegade. No, you can't play that stance here. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a developer. I will not judge anyone that knows more about the work than I do. That's one of my like main like statements and like mental sentiments that I always have. I don't judge about stuff that I don't know too much about. So if the developers don't do it, maybe they have a reason for that. Yeah. So you have like, I don't know, 8 more minutes to enter the giveaway. Then hopefully we are done with the Cold War here and we will draw the giveaway winner. So don't forget to enter. And if you are interested, on my YouTube channel, I also have a giveaway currently going for the celebration of the ArenaNet Partner Program. And it's 2 times 500 gold. So it's even more than I give away here in chat. So be sure to check that one out if you want to join. I think it's just a no-win situation. If they spend any dev time under the water, people will complain. Yeah, definitely. There is always like some uproar in either case in any balance decision, and making stuff for underwater will probably have a bigger uproar if they would not do any like stuff updates. Because a lot of people would say, why would you spend any time developing underwater content when you could just increase some like gameplay above water? So I definitely see there's always some kind of like negativity coming up, and they can just like, if they ignore it, probably it's better off in the long run. So I agree. It's just sad to see that like one part of the game is just not updated because it's like too scary for them to interact with. But I can understand it for sure. Are you a full-time creator or is this part-time? I'm doing it part-time. Yes, no full-time content creator yet. I need more help from you guys there. Takes a while, I guess. I'm quite fresh there, so. Yes, you can join the giveaway, of course, if you're on NA as well. No worries, everyone can join, even people on NA, yes. I can send you the gold as well, no worries. The only people that can't join are people in the Chinese client, because this is completely disjunct. There is no way to send money or anything between those regions. Honestly, underwater combat is decent compared to other games, but it's so rare. Yeah, I agree. I think that if you compare to other games, the underwater combat is actually not that bad. But the problem is, what I always mention is, why would you try to get people into underwater combat, which is okay, but if you compare to the Guild Wars 2 land combat, it's just worse. Why would you then play the game mode or something that is a little bit worse than the other one that you have, when you have such a good option? You know, I don't get it. I would always want to have land combat more because it's just better. It's just way more balanced, way more interesting to play, and just more polished. That's the whole thing. So I see no reason to like making underwater more like intriguing if you can't fix the issues with it. Yeah. Only summer, man. I don't know. If enough people ask for it, you know. Yeah. If it says too many tickets, that means you're already in. So don't spam the enter thing. You will get, or you have a chance at winning at least. I can't guarantee that you will win, but you will have a chance at winning. Just make underwater combat better. Underwater content being ignored for too long. It's 2012. Yeah, I agree. It's crazy to me that they didn't update it ever. Or maybe some small changes, but nothing big. And that's crazy to me, but that's just telling me that they don't think it's worth it to put enough like dev power in there. I don't. That's the main reason I think why they didn't update it, because I think they say it's not worth to them. And if that's the case, I mean that's okay. As long as they don't add any new underwater combat that is like necessary for like the new underwater aqua breather, and you need to do I don't know, full underwater dungeon, and they don't update it there, I think that's a little bit weird. But if it's just some kind of side area, I think, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. They would have to double whammy underwater with making it better and making a lot more of it. Exactly. They can't do one without the other, in my opinion, because only then people would be somewhat satisfied. If you make a lot of underwater content without balancing it correctly or upgrading it, then people would be really sad and really would see more of the scuffed stuff. And if you would just do the balancing without more underwater content, people would say, why is that important? Why did you do that? You know, why not make other stuff more like better and therefore more approachable or something? So I'm totally with you there. You have to get both. You have to get content and balancing. Yeah. I would love an underwater expansion. I wouldn't say I would love it personally, but I can understand why people would like that. But I think there are a lot of issues with underwater, and I think they have to solve at least some of them beforehand. Yeah. There are more quality of life updates coming in the later patch. That is true. They could. That is true. Good point. Good point. They could, in the core feature update, underwater is core, they could easily do some upgrades to underwater. Yeah, good point. I did not think about that yet. I thought about more like features like, I don't know, wardrobe for infusions. I thought about like maybe some kind of agony account-wide. I thought about like maybe some kind of world versus world rewards changes. I thought, of course, of fashion templates and the raid and strike mission stuff. But I did not think about that. Underwater is definitely a core feature. So yeah. They could do that. Interesting. I like the idea. Maybe that's meant by that. Yeah. But it would be weird if they would include a map with the launch that has underwater and then bring out the upgrades to underwater after that. So I probably think that then the second or the first or second map that comes after the expansion will probably only have the underwater content then maybe. We will see. We will see. Being honest, the real reason is in gaming in general, no one has cracked a fun way to do underwater combat. Yeah, I think it's really challenging. Underwater is just very challenging in terms of how you can make it good. I really think it's really hard to find a way to not make it annoying, while also make it somewhat like different. You know, it has to be different in some way, but it should also not be like too different, or at least not bad. Because, I don't know, 3-dimensional movement with skill casting that have ground target and stuff is somewhat annoying. You know, it's somewhat annoying to make that happen. You know, if you have action cam, then it's a little bit easier maybe. But action cam has other problems. What? How did it stealth? Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like underwater is a hot topic, and I think you can't get it perfect. That's just my consensus there. The holy grail of gaming, fun underwater combat? Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is also, would it be something that is like providing a lot of value to the game? You know, would that be the selling point? Would you say, oh my god, this game has crazy underwater combat? Would like millions of players play it because of that? Or would people just say, I mean, why not make really good above land combat? You know, I really don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit skeptical there, but I think underwater combat is nice and all, but I think making too much content in it is not helping the game, in my opinion. They tested the agony infusions with the water infusions? Yes, I think that was like a big test there, but I was surprised that they did not follow up on that sooner. So hopefully we will get it this time, but right now it at least takes like, I don't know, 9 more months until we get anything regarding the core feature updates, so I think they have enough time to hopefully do that correctly with the infusions, if that will come out at all. You know, I have no more information than you guys, so that's just my prediction there for that problem. Well, not problem, but for that like stuff with the agony. I think the agony is working okay, but it could be better. So, last minute for entering the giveaway. I will loot the chest and then we will draw the winner. I wish they would add templates for legendary sitches. Yeah, I mean, the templates can be a little bit annoying, but I think the fashion templates can be a big selling point. You know, a lot of people like that. So I will be very excited to see that, how that works. Hopefully it comes with an Infusion wardrobe as well. That would be hype, I would say. Outfit slot toggle for each equipment template. I think that would probably be in the fashion template. I think that is quite likely to be the case. But I really like, I'm not a fashion enthusiast. I have no real like, I don't know, interest in fashion templates for the most part. You know, I have like this look for my character here. Okay, it's invisible, but yeah, this look for the character I have like for like the last since this thing came out. You know, I did never change it. You know, I have like a lot of skins on my account, but I never changed it. So I may be the wrong person to ask what to expect and what to have in a fashion template. But yeah, will we ever get legendary infusions? I have no clue. I have no clue. Maybe that could be with the core feature updates. So last chance, exclamation mark, enter in the Twitch chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Subscribers get 3 times the luck. And this is like the only thing that we will now draw. You have 30 more seconds or something. Yeah. It's too bad infusions won't be included in fashion templates. Yeah, that's true. That's somewhat true, I agree. Give me a second. I really hope that will be the case, but I don't know. It feels like the infusions are a really big thorn in their eye. I'm not sure how they can fix that. I really don't know. I really hope that the infusion gets reworked and that comes together with fashion templates, but I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so it's time. Enough stalling. It's time to draw the winner. And the winner this time is Knuckle2705. Congrats to you. This time you actually are very nice, very good, very good. Hopefully you're still here. And congrats to you. Let me know your account name in Twitch chat so I can send you the gold. No, that's not what I wanted. And yeah. That's not working. That's not working. You don't, only the correct person will get this stuff. So the account name you can see here. If you press C, which is the default keybind, I think, or you can go on those contact and LFG icon here with the friends, the people, and you open that and you see your account name here. This is your account name. And then you send me the name with the numbers. That's the important part. The numbers are really important. Yeah, and that's the first time I would say that someone actually, that is a subscriber won. So really nice, it works. Someone has a higher chance of winning if you're a subscriber. Very good. Yeah, take your time, we can wait. But I think in general, the infusion system, I think the infusions, you know, like right now, I have infusions equipped, which give me more power and more agony. And I think this should be completely separated. It should be like the skin of the infusion and the agony should be something completely different. You should have like the mastery level, you should have an account bound agony level that you can level up, and that's it. And the infusion itself is just the skin. And it should be, in my opinion, some kind of slot, like maybe make 6 slots above here, that you add that are just infusions. They just are cosmetic in nature. That is like, in my opinion, the way how to do it. Will they do it? Is it even possible in their, I don't know, technical limitations? I don't know. But I think that would be the way to do it. And it would be amazing, in my opinion, for, I don't know, everyone. I think everyone would love that. Because if then you would also be able to account bind infusions, like for example, you have the Frost Legion infusions and you want to use it on your Mesmer and on your Ranger. Right now you have to get 2 of them, or you have to always extract it and put it on the other character. If you account bind it like a skin and you can then use it on each character in each fashion template, that would be amazing. Everyone would be happy about that. Very good, you made it. Very good. Now I can send you the money. Or the gold rather. So, congrats again. Oh, wait. Did you check the number? Is it the correct number? Can you double check? Or did you miss some stuff here because it's saying it's not correctly? If everything is correct, then it should work, but currently it's not working. So you need to double check. It's the whole thing. I thought that's your in-game name. You know, I thought it's an abbreviation for in-game name. Okay, that's apparently your account name then. Okay. Sorry. There we go. Sorry. There we go. Very nice. That's it. Very good. You know, ING. I thought that's the abbreviation for the in-game name, and I thought, that makes sense. Very good. Yeah, I'm happy that you enjoy my content. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's also the end of today's stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast. It was really fun. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel if you hadn't already. And if you want to purchase the expansion, you can now use my referral link. So be sure to check that one out as well if you want to pre-order it. But of course, no pressure there. You can also wait. Doesn't matter too much. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I had a blast. It was really nice. And I hope you have a nice day. See you around. Have a nice rest of the week.